Good evening and welcome to RockSingle. I am your host, Tyron Joe, and we thank you for joining us as we rock truth or absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth, even before our very eyes, is consistently questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a person's ideology of God's original intent for the kingdom and for mankind. We believe that the Bible, our kingdom constitution, is inspired, infallible, inherent, and the final authority for all.
Final authority
Rock
for
Truth,
all.
Rock Single
Lord
is
Truth,
founded on He,
RockSingle is founded on
who
He,
is the original point of
who is
reference
the original
for
point of
all things
reference
to come through
for all
eternity.
things to come through eternity.
The Rock Single podcast is
The
a
Rock
cross
Single
cultural response to the economic and social climate of today's relationship scene. Rock Single will teach you how to maneuver and still be kingdom minded throughout your relationship experiences. Our aim is to help repair the fallen and broken man with the kingdom mindset. The podcast seeks to inspire, enlighten, and highlight upcoming and established local kings and queens of character while promoting Black consciousness and awareness of who we are and to whom we belong.
of who we are.
Kingdom Renaissance Cross Country. Let's do it. Greetings, greetings.
Yeah, yeah. What's going on, kings and queens?
You already know.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
Hey, everybody.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we in
We
the
got we
building.
got the chemist in the building.
She's in the building. She says she's right.
I have arrived.
yes, yes,
Oh,
She
straight up.
ready, she ready to get this work. She ready to get this work.
What? Oh, don't work me. I work you.
I know that's right.
I work
Get
you.
it right.
These
She
hands look
about to
like
get
they
this
work.
work.
No, they could. They don't work though.
Ah, man, what's up, King Dwayne? What's good?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
What's up, Queen Wordsmith?
Man, I'm good. My day was good. Everything is good. I don't know you was talking to me. I know you was talking to Rock.
No, I said King,
No,
Queen,
no,
Queen Wordsmith.
wordsmith.
Right. All right. I forgot. I'm the wordsmith. Okay.
Yeah, you the wordsmith. Remember, I just found out you got a bachelor's in
I just
English.
found out you
I'm
got a
like,
bachelor's in English.
I know why, but yeah, somebody got
I
an
know
echo
why,
real
but yeah,
bad.
I got echo bad.
You echoing. But then
That's me.
Will said it was Ant. He was like,
I was
"Man,
muted. I was muted.
That's you.
is
Who's
it?
you?
I
You
think
who?
that I think that's
You.
that's
No,
I
that's
think that's
Yahoo. Not
that's
you.
wordsmith.
Not the chocolate milk.
I used to drink that all the time.
It was good too. It was delicious.
I used to drink the strawberry.
They had strawberry yoo-hoo. When did that happen?
Strawberry, chocolate, see?
Hold on, I'm muting myself too for a second, and I'm okay. Just double checking to see.
Yeah, I don't know. Was it me?
No, he said it was Ant.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
like, no,
okay.
I'm not. I'm not
You know
echoing no more.
you got the best speaker in the world. You better bring that speaker back.
Romans 8:28.
Hi, and bring that speaker on back.
Romans 8
Okay,
and
there we go.
28.
No more echo. We're
Man,
cooking with grease now.
Is it gone?
Yeah.
Is it gone?
See, Shannon, really? What happened to the Rock True Queen? Stand up.
Oh, where everybody go?
Hey!
Where everybody go?
What do you mean where everybody
You
go?
right
We right here.
Right.
Ain't nobody
Okay.
going nowhere.
Cause he's
Maybe my Wi-Fi is clowning on me. Uh-oh.
always your Wi-Fi. You better not win.
He got that Wi-Fi. You didn't upset your Wi-Fi. Now you know
Oh, it's
if you got
clowning.
something to do at 6 o'clock, you can't upset your Wi-Fi at 5:30
Interesting.
p.m. That's that
Hello,
same problem that men be doing. Y'all
you.
know y'all got plans. Y'all want to go out with your friends, but guess
Uh-huh.
what you do? You trying to rush to that event without taking
Mhm.
care of the right now, without making sure that your woman is good, that your wife is gonna be chilling and not worried about, oh well, I wasn't taken care of before he went out and had fun with his friends. He having fun. What am I supposed to have? No, she's supposed
All
to
right, I'll be back.
already be situated before you leave the house. And then guess what? You don't have to worry about coming home to an upset woman
I'm
because
saying that's
Right.
what talking about preventive. We're talking about
she's
preventive
already
measures.
taken care
We're
of.
talking about preventive measures, and I
Who
mean
is
take
it?
care of it. That's all I'm saying.
Who is
Preventive
that
measures.
made that song? Take care of home. He made a
Oh, girl,
song.
care.
Yeah.
Home.
Women love you know why women love that
It
song?
said that. It said
You
that.
that's why. Because we're
Okay.
being taken care of
Who you gotta
before you
take
leave the house. When
home?
you
Hey,
out of the
those are
house, you
Yeah.
should be thinking about home, which means when you leave to go and hang out with your friends, it shouldn't be no 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. Hang, what hanging out are you doing at them
That
hours? That you got
home.
to come back
Take
home and then be worried about, oh well, I don't want to hear her mouth, so you stay out later and make it worse because you worried about her mouth. Guess what? If she was happy when you left, no matter what time you come back, the repercussions are going to be
home.
less because
Take
she's not
that
up. She wasn't upset when you left. You see how
house.
easy that is?
Very easy. It was real simple. It
Super
was real simple.
simple.
That was simple. Sis. That was
But
simple. Sis.
those are the naggings. That's the nagging in the mouthing off and stuff that men don't want to hear. But they don't understand that
Oh,
they the source of that
well,
because you are already falling short of your duties, but you already
well,
trying to put more energy
well,
outside of the home instead of
well.
putting it inside the home where it belongs. And then
Yes.
when
she
she
going
pours
in.
back into you, guess what? Now you got energy to go out and be with your friends because she's not trying to pull more of your energy because she feels unappreciated. Oh,
Right.
forgotten. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you see
Mm-hmm.
how easy that is? It's
Mm-hmm.
simple. And they were like, well, I pay the bills, so she should be happy that I pay the bills. But guess what? Guess what? We
Well,
can pay bills too.
that's
We
true.
agreed that I'm not going to pay bills because you are doing that. It was an agreement. If I was required to do that, I would do that.
We agreed to
If
it.
if I'm not doing that, then obviously you decided to take on that responsibility. So why would I congratulate you for something that you're supposed to do? Make it make sense. Make it
Hmm. He said, "Make it makes." I would really like. I want to. I'm glad Ann is back because I would really like to hear Ann rebuttal to that. This would be good. This is good. What?
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
he be coming with the facts. I'm ready for it too. Come
I
on.
had look. I had to make sure this on point, so I got on the iPad now.
There you go. Welcome back, Ann.
Having some issues with my phone, man. See, that's why I be hating. I be getting off work. I be having to hurry up and do all this. Everybody trying to get my attention. I'm like, look,
Hey, man on the
got
move.
to.
It's all right.
But on the way, I did like this. You know how you walking through, and people trying to talk to you, have conversation with you, whatever. People trying to sell that stuff. So I took the time to listen to this little pitch from somebody, and in the
Mm-hmm.
process, I told them about the show tonight. So hey, maybe we might have some more views.
Yay, yay. Thank you, Ann. I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
so
I
yeah.
have
How was
no
everybody's
clue
day?
how it went.
Me neither.
Did he was
It
he
was
having
good.
issues? Was he having issues too?
I think
Probably. That's why I was snapping because Ty always
because of
come
the
on here with this
Wi-Fi,
janky
right?
Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
And then want to
Okay.
blame and then
Now
want to
we got how
blame the
we got
Wi-Fi.
there.
Like, nah, sir, what you do to the Wi-Fi though? Why your Wi-Fi not serving you properly so that you can handle your function?
Hey, you see? Hey,
And we on rock single, so you gotta apply it to the relationship. You gotta show them how all things are connected. That's why I'm
you see him trying to
snapping.
get it together now too.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
He trying to
Yeah,
make
but
sure it's
that but
all
that's why
good.
you are prepared because if you're prepared, then you don't have to try and get it together on the back end. That takes more time and energy away from what you can be building together
Right.
and moving forward.
Facts, facts.
prepare so you
Ready,
can
she said,
grow and move forward.
ready.
I mean, but the ladies, you guys are
Let me tell
great
you,
at
yes.
multitasking.
Go ahead.
Absolutely, you're great at multitasking. That's what a navigator does by nature. That's what you are by nature. You're a navigator. We don't give you nothing to use. You gonna navigate. you gonna do what you do. You know that's y'all grow and
That's
multiply
true.
things, man. So
That's true.
that's the beautiful thing
That's
about you
true.
guys. That's guys are working in your essential nature. You're essential, absolutely necessary. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna argue it at all.
Well, I can't tell you why Doc Ock is a little bit snappy because she went back and reviewed the review from last week, and that tape is already ready to cue. Because she
I
took
got
notes.
notes.
Look, she ain't playing.
Check
But
it.
let's
Come
bring
on.
back
Come on.
the
Cause
clip
you,
from
Run that
last
back.
that's just setting it all off.
yeah,
Oh,
Setting it
that
off.
was just the clip. I listened to the whole hour and a half.
Oh,
That's
come
the whole,
on.
yeah, them notes from the whole hour and the
I
half.
know that's
hey,
right.
look,
Talk about it. Talk
I
about
Yes.
know
it.
she ain't. I know she ain't lying because it
Okay.
was an hour and a half. I know she.
Ain't it for real, for real? So yeah, so
Hey,
go ahead, let's play that clip real quick. It's going
Song.
on with you. How was everything with your one health two?
Right.
Thing and everything. What's going on with yours?
Oh, it's coming along. Real men drink water. That's right. We drinking water.
okay.
Our ladies want us to be King Kong, and we
I
can't be
do,
King
I
Kong when
do,
we ain't drinking water.
I do, I do.
And
Okay,
I and
yeah.
I clarified King Kong in the bed. You know what I'm
You,
saying? You can't be swinging and swaying if you ain't drunk. You know water.
yeah. Drinking water then drinking water. It's intentional, right? That's the new thing for us. Just eating with intent. There's a purpose behind everything that we're putting into our bodies and we're putting
Absolutely.
into our bodies. So it's like now we're changing our minds and changing our appetites all the way down. So
For the day.
it's a
We have
blessing.
to
I
stop
love it.
playing
Like
I'm
spirits aren't
excited
real,
about it.
demons aren't real, being in people and operating and moving and people aren't real. It is very much so real. Like and I'm with you. Like celebration of any holy day that you're supposedly supposed to be holy days. Ain't nothing
Yes,
holy about that stuff. And
exactly.
so that's why y'all calling it holla. It's holla day, I guess. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's for every day. You
I
you
got
can
a dollar. Can I get a holler?
get a holla. Right, that's about it. Like, but it's like that's for every day. You can love somebody. I'm with Shannon. You can pamper and cater to your man any day of the
Oh,
week.
that
It
was
is
Shannon that wrote that.
But
oh
see,
yeah, that's Miss
the,
Shannon out
the thing,
there.
She
so the
said
thing,
she said that she like to keep that about him.
but the thing also, Queen, is that these holidays are geared toward the modern woman. They're geared toward the
Ooh,
modern woman.
There you
ooh.
go. There you
So,
go.
at
You about to
the end
go.
of the
Go
day,
ahead.
it goes back to what I told y'all before.
Let me
The
bring you
same way,
on.
the same way that things moved in the Garden of Eden, they still move that way today.
Come
Ain't
on and
nothing
teach.
done. So
Teach.
they have to use the woman because they know the woman is the number one consumer in any house. She's the
Yeah.
number
Come
one.
on now.
So at the end of the day, you're the one. The woman's gonna be the one. You know, all over her man, and the kid's gonna be doing the same thing all over the man. Now he working overtime. He doing everything he can to stress himself out to
And the
produce this
feed.
money to get you all these gifts that you claim you want. And
Yep.
it's just the woman runs the house. That's what they especially in the black community. They're
Yep.
gonna come to the woman. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And if
Yep.
and if they could do anything they can to keep her in her own house, the dude in his own house, that's what how they like it because that's more money being produced.
Teach, King. That's the truth, though.
Not
It's
only that, not only that, when you talk about masculinity, this world is trying to erase masculinity anyway.
oh,
So
King.
they gon' they not trying to get us. So they gotta appeal to the woman because they know that if they can appeal to the woman will get us just like Eve did in
Yeah,
the
Come
garden with
on.
Adam.
Come
she
on
That
and
that
teach.
that, that Satan that Satan, good old Satan came to Eve and said, "You won't surely die." So what
yeah
did Eve do? Eve
because
called Adam the next day and was like, "Well, if you don't eat of this fruit, you're not going to eat of this
right.
fruit."
Come on and teach. Come
Well,
Go
see,
ahead,
on.
go ahead, go ahead, bro.
well, see, the
Come
thing is,
on.
he also the thing that was happening with the serpent is that he was entertaining and galvanizing the baser aspect of the woman. He was
Come on and teach.
galvanizing her appetite. You know what I'm
My
saying?
lord.
Hmm.
So we just talked
That's
about
the big
appetite.
that's the
You know
that's
how to get to her.
that's the biggest
Mm-hmm.
thing that's going on in society today. Like I would
Yeah.
just like just not to jump ahead, but just when I was talking to Mary off camera, just about the little post that I shared on my page, like how many memes and stuff do you see where
Yeah.
a woman pretty much promoting a modern day woman is promoting her delusion, and it doesn't matter if
Mm.
she's not on point with her weight. It doesn't matter if she's not on point with her health. It doesn't matter if she got 5 different baby daddies. People gonna still say, "Girl, get it, girl. You good, girl." Why are we
Yeah.
lying? Why are we
Yeah.
lying?
Thank you.
Why are we telling people that it's okay? Basically, in a sense, the
Thank
woman
you.
has broke the law. She's got multiple baby fathers, but
Come on.
she wants everything just like the virgin girl. She
Come on,
wants
it's just
everything
like
just
the
like a
first girl.
person. She wants everything just like the one who actually did things right. And
Come
Come
when
on,
on.
it's king.
to stroke these egos, we say you can get the same thing. Well, how many at bats do she get?
Come
You know
on.
what I'm saying?
Come on.
How many at bats?
I'm done. Okay. Okay.
Oh, you know I'm ready. Oh, you know I'm ready. Ah,
I'm mad with you for looking
so
for candy. So go ahead, Doc. Go ahead. Expound. Expound.
so first this Valentine's Day thing, like that has been I want to say like probably the biggest like weeder wading in the water in the deep end of relationships for years. And if your relationship can't survive a capitalist consumerist holiday, y'all didn't need to be together in the first place. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's all
Yeah.
right. Everything ain't meant for everybody. And you know that and unfortunately or fortunately, these superficial, activities and things that we
That's the
partake
word.
in, it shows your value. It shows your own personal value because regardless of how your partner feels about XYZ day, holiday, or whatever everyone else is doing, there should be enough value within them to you for you to stay together after they don't show up with a bunch of roses or drop, I don't know, whatever all this extra stuff people be doing on social media. I didn't see all kinds of people where they did the hotel room up with candles and roses and all this extra stuff everywhere. It don't take a day, to do that. You can do that whenever you have time, because not
Rose
everybody is
petals.
off on Valentine's Day. Because I
Yeah.
think what
Fact.
it happens to be on a weekend, so not everybody is off on weekends. So you have to take that into account. They may be working that day and
Right.
whatever. Like y'all got stuff going on in y'all life, especially if y'all don't live together. They got bills, they got responsibilities, and
Hello.
all kinds of stuff that is priority over a day, one day out of
One day.
365.
One day.
One day, and you basing the stability of your whole relationship on something that has nothing to do with you, because
Pe-
whether y'all together or not, them chocolates gonna get sold, them flowers gonna get sold, them rooms gonna get bought, all of that. And me personally, I go for the day after Valentine's Day, because guess what? Everything is on
Hello.
sale.
Hello.
You can get, I would rather you show up on February 15th with a big dump truck full of stuff that was on
Come
sale.
on.
Because guess
Cause you
what? I
smart.
can enjoy that for
I,
an
that's
extended
it.
period
You
of
smart.
time.
You
And I'm gonna
You
feel
see,
that much more love because I'm like, see, we frugal together. And I was
Listen.
you see
able to
how
get more
you,
for less.
you see how Queen mind work. You see that?
Yeah, come
Like
on,
come through with
kid.
the have a
Hmm.
big
Oh,
dumb
Hey,
bear this big because it was $2
yeah,
because they try
she
to get it
already
out the
saving
way.
money.
And like that's what people don't get. Like they have off season sales all the time. But people want to be with the Joneses. They want to be in the mix of stuff, on trend, all of this stuff for other people, because
mhm.
that's the only people
It's
that care
social
about that stuff
status.
is exactly is the other people. If you minded your own business,
Yeah,
oh baby,
fact.
You feel
not
good? You
amazing,
feel better?
because yes, because I mind my business 24/7. The minute somebody's problems look like they
Like I
trying to
said,
become mine, I'll be like, don't worry, you got it. Once you
I
hear
don't
me
own.
say, don't worry, you got it, you ain't gonna hear
I don't.
nothing else from
That's it.
me.
That's it. That's it.
I don't care.
I ask like, hey, you need You say no, okay. I promise you, I know I got something to do. There is no wondering. There's no twiddling of thumbs. I have a whole operation to take care of. So the last thing I need to do is be all in your business. I don't need that. All in your phone for what? Like you gonna give it away in your
I
body
got my
language?
own stuff I'm trying to keep out my phone. I got my own people I'm trying to get out of my inbox. I'm not worried about what you got going on in your inbox. I'm trying to keep my inbox clear. Like,
Clean and
come on.
clear.
You know,
Clean and clear and under control. So I did here. Deal with your
For
own
my
inbox.
peace of mind. Exactly, for my peace of mind. I'm not even worried about what you might think. If you
No,
decide you want to get insecure enough to go through my phone, I don't care. Because it doesn't matter what you find or what you don't find. You already had the thought anyway. The
and it
fact
ain't
that
gonna
you're even
change.
in my business
That's it.
means
fact.
that you already had a feeling.
Already.
And if
That's
and
it.
if and if
But
you can't deal with your own feelings,
Listen,
we
or
don't
learn
need
how
to
to
be there.
communicate. Learn how to communicate those feelings. It's okay to have a feeling. Can you talk? Do you know how to talk about that? Let's talk about that, but don't go through my things. Because now we have a
right,
privacy issue. We have
yeah,
now we have an I can't trust you issue, and it could go
facts.
back and
Because
forth.
not
Me and
only can't you trust me, but I can't trust you.
now because you
Hmm.
gotta sneak. What's this? What's this, Kings?
Like if you're gonna go through my phone, you can ask me in my face to go through my phone. I'm gonna let
That's
you
it.
do it.
That's it. It's
Oh, you want
nothing.
to see here?
It's
Who
nothing.
wants to do that though? I mean, what man want to go through they phone?
I don't think
Yeah,
That the
yeah.
ones
yeah.
that the ones that go
Just,
through
hey,
phones. That
I was just
happened to
about,
me
I was
more
just
than once.
about to say, before Ty said what he said, I was just about to say there's certain things that are feminine, and I just think that's a feminine thing. If a guy's
That's
doing that,
it.
that's feminine. You know what I'm saying?
That
I think so
is.
That's
too.
some emotional stuff. I don't. We got too much
Yeah,
movement, too many. My brother,
I
he's
don't
on
care
here
nothing
tonight.
about no phone.
My brother Will McCraven. He say, if we doing all this fighting outside to provide, we ain't trying to have no issues at the crib. We ain't trying to do that. We
Come
have
on.
no time for that. You know what I'm
No,
saying? So
we have a common
I
ground.
love his post because I think about that post as you know what I'm saying, as Queen was talking. At the end of the day, we got so much to conquer outside. It made me think about the Queen and Slim movie, where what's the guy name? Joaquin Woodbine. The character he played
Uh-huh.
when he had all the ladies in the house, and one of them
Uh-huh.
was just like, it don't matter how he treated out there, but in here he gonna be king. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes, yes, that
Facts.
was my
we
part.
we we
That was my
deserve.
part.
We supposed to feel like it's our haven when we walk
Exactly.
around.
Oh, I was just
That's
gonna
it.
say that a
That's
safe
y'all
haven.
castles,
Yes,
bro. That's y'all
Most
your
castles,
definitely.
bro.
sanctuary.
And listen, to even go further off of that, like, because that's what we're now talking about. It's about courtship, and it's about now having courtroom etiquette. First of all, however you got in or entered or even past the door, you have to come with proper culture. And in a man's castle, it would be his culture, what he has envisioned, what he has decided he wants to go on in his
His
home, in his
program.
kingdom. Not you, his program, not you. Before you got married, you were to buy into, become under the submission of his program, not bringing in
That's
your
what the
own little
proposal was.
agenda. Like, yeah, but then when we get married, I'm gonna change them blinds. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Hmm.
You can discuss it, but you don't come in trying to do your own thing and rearranging parts when there's
Come on
always
now, Teach.
goes all the way across the board. Relationship, business, everything. There's already a mission and vision in place. You don't come in and try to wipe the scale clean or try to make these little bitty arrangements until you make the real big ones. No, don't do that. Don't come in there like that. You're supposed to have bought into
Yep.
this man's plan.
Hey,
Hmm.
what Kendrick Lamar say? Shut up, be humble.
Oh, sit
No,
down.
and
Sit
seriously, that
down.
and you know what that is? A
Sit
lot of times
down.
that's not being truthful on the front end as to what you got going on for yourself and where you trying to go. So if you knew that whatever you had going on was not going to align with what that man had going on, you should have left him where he was.
Let him go.
Instead of thinking, oh, he a good man, he'll provide. And that's
Yeah.
and that's what where you get pulled astray because guess what? Now you're not headed towards your vision, and he's also not headed towards his vision, and you
And then you
have
ready
just
to blame him.
ruined two lives
You
instead of
lie.
one.
You
Two.
ready to blame
And oh
somebody.
no, and maybe even more if you
Holding
got
up
kids.
here.
So now you got
Come
kids
on, man.
involved
Yeah,
and your
especially when you get kids
misdirection and
involved.
your selfishness and
Come
all
on,
of
Ted.
that. You supposed to say, I am planning on doing X, Y, Z. In the next 5 years, I see myself, da 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 da. And if
You
he
should.
can't align with that, if he can't say, yes, I can see myself in that same space and this is where I want to be, da 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 da. We can do this together. That's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, oh well, I'm gonna do whatever you do. No, ain't none of that. No, because
Mm.
then what's gonna happen is you finally find a vision for yourself, and now guess what? Now you want to jump ship. Ain't no jumping ship.
And
You
you
already
should
on the boat.
already master that singleness.
Ain't no jumping ship.
Brought that
This ship is locked in right here.
into
But
these
but
things.
but you know, but
We
you know, that's
we are here
that's what
to
happens.
help. Read the Bible and helping.
Yeah, but you know, that's what happens in this society. You know, Babylon, you know, it's no fault divorce. It's irreconcilable differences
Yeah,
because that can mean anything.
of course,
Jump the ship,
of
jump the
course.
ship, jump the ship for
Hmm.
anything. I just ain't happy.
Yeah,
But that's because
That's the
people
number
go
one.
in
That's the number
with
one.
no intention
The
to
number
stay.
one argument for any
mhm.
woman. The number one argument is I'm not happy. You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna be
Right.
happy every day.
But they don't
You're
even
not
know
They
gonna
what
be
talk
makes them
happy
about
every
they
day.
not
happy.
happy.
You
They
know what I'm
say they're
saying?
not
Happiness.
So
happy, and they say it's because of X, Y, Z. But then you ask them, well,
But the
what
man ain't
what would make
supposed to
you
be the one
happy?
that make you happy
They're
though.
silent. They're silent.
they
Ask them
they
instead of
no
asking them why aren't you happy. Ask them what will make you happy, and I bet you that answer will be a lot shorter than why they're not happy.
they
And it's going to
facts.
be a
They
lot
don't know.
Where
selfish
does
too.
happiness come
A lot
from?
selfish. That the answer to that question is going to be a lot selfish as well. Happiness is
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
circumstantial. It is
Yep.
only it's as long as everything is going the way that I willed it.
Come
I'm
on.
happy. So then you supposed to, like God has already told you again, here you go with your disobedience, to seek joy. You're supposed to have joy, which means I don't care what's going on. I have something that was given to me. I had not
content.
recreated myself. It's joy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Yeah,
no
it's like
circumstance. It's
walking
not
on
based on
eggshell.
teach,
That
teach.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Gotta be content.
Yeah,
Gotta be content because there's gonna be changes in life all the time. But are you content?
all the time,
Are
Ken.
you
Mm.
content? Because your contentment is what's gonna make you lean on Christ the more.
Yep.
Because you
Your
don't know what's
gratitude
around
in
the
the
corner.
present.
You don't know what
Absolutely.
you don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's down 5 years from now. You don't know what's
Right?
30 minutes from now. But
You
his
don't.
vantage point is further than ours. His vantage
Yep.
point
Yep.
reaches years,
Exactly.
months,
Yes.
hours that we can't see. We can only see what's ahead of us to a certain amount to a certain distance. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
yet we try to be psychics and these relationships. These women want these men to be mind readers. You don't even know what you want. Come on
You
now.
don't even know what
Nah,
you want. You don't even,
And that's
we're
the
not doing it.
thing.
you're not
Because
even
I,
willing to
I
give what you're asking for. That's
and
another thing. Go ahead, Tara.
that's it. That is it. I like it was a point that y'all had brought up. It was something along that lines that made me think of this. Was a relationship in biology between what they call a host and like usually like a virus, a parasite, things like that. But the name that the thing inside of the host gets is determined by the relationship it has with the host. So a parasite only takes
Mm.
from the host, and it tends to be detrimental to the host.
Come on
Like it will
now. Now you're
kill the
talking.
host. It doesn't care. It will kill the host by taking
Listen,
from it. And depending on the type of parasite, it might do little things to keep the host alive. But for the most part, it'll just find something else to move on to once the host dies.
King.
And then
King.
the beneficial relationship is symbiosis. Basically, the thing inside of the host is benefiting from living in the host. Whatever it eats, it gets its
Come on.
nutrients from it, all of that.
Come on, sis.
But the
Come on,
host
sis.
also benefits from it, like our gut bacteria. Our immune system
Come on,
relies
sis.
heavily on our gut bacteria, on all the bacteria living inside of us, because it breaks down nutrients, it helps protect us, all of that. And we give it a home. We give
Yeah.
it food. We give it stuff to eat. So that is a symbiotic relationship. It is
Yeah.
beneficial. You can grow from that. So if your relationship is a parasitic one, you need to end it. If and
Cut
that's
that.
that's with anybody. If it's
Anyone.
family, friends, acquaintances, business,
Teach.
whatever. If you are only being taken from and nothing is coming back to you from that particular, people say, "Oh no, you'll get in." No, 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 no. Stop with that. Yes, you will get in other ways, but no, your responsibility with your immediate relationships with people is how much you give and how much is being taken. Because there's a
How much
difference.
is
If
and
you're
how much
giving and you're not getting
is.
anything back, okay,
If
cool.
you're
But if someone
giving,
is taking and they're not giving anything back, that's a problem. And you are giving up your
mm-hmm.
power when you allow people to take from you. Yeah, you might not
Yeah.
miss it,
Yeah.
but if they're not giving nothing back in return, they're not returning anything to you, you're not benefiting from what's being taken, you have a parasite that's going to
Yeah.
drain
And
you.
we're not talking
That's
about
going to
things.
make
We're
you
not
feel,
talking about
yeah,
things. We're talking about
no.
needs, like needs, necessities, not things.
If,
This
if
isn't
every
about
time you call somebody, they got problems, all you hear on the other line, problems, complaints, that's taken. It may not sound like that, but they are absolutely taking from you. If they
Training.
only have problems and complaints, no solutions, no good words of encouragement, no nothing. They never give anything back your way. Oh well, I've been talking your ear off about all my problems. What you got going on? But you don't have no problems. So you can't
Come on.
commiserate with them. All you got is nothing but good
Preach.
stuff going on in your life. They don't want to
Preach.
hear that because they called you to complain. They didn't call you to hear about how your life don't have no
Hmm.
complaints, how you are grateful for all your situations. They don't want to hear that. So then they're gonna drift off. They're not gonna put back into the conversation. It's probably
Right.
gonna end very quickly when you do that.
Yeah.
Parasite.
Yeah, I have it where they call and they say everything that's on their mind, and then after that they get off. So they don't even give enough time for you to even say nothing back. Like, all right, I gotta go now.
Right. They didn't
Y'all,
talked all the time up.
these comments is popping real quick. I don't want to. We're already halfway through, and I don't want to go without them. So we got Shannon.
Yeah,
She
time
asked,
is like flying.
She said, "Who would get into a relationship, let alone a marriage, without having that conversation? What foundation are you building from?" Yep, a lot of
Hmm.
people. A lot of
All
people
the
because
time.
yep, we ain't taught. We ain't taught
They scared.
relationship
They're scared to have those conversations because then they'll have to dig out the stuff that they weren't dealing with. If they
and within.
have this dream, this vision, well, what steps are you taking to get there now?
Yeah, yeah,
Relationship not even on the table. What are you doing by yourself to get to XYZ point in 5, 10, whatever years? If you don't have an answer to that, you're not gonna want to bring that conversation up because it's gonna
Doc,
seem like you drilling somebody else on something that you don't even have in order.
teaching.
people are afraid to see themselves.
Oh,
That's that.
but
Listen,
that's what relationships do.
biggest thing. That's the biggest thing, bro. And
They're
people are
afraid.
so tough. They
But that's
so tough.
exactly what relationships
They
do.
so tough. They can face everybody else. They can tell people where to go. They can tell people about themselves. They can point out all the things that's wrong with somebody else. When it's time to really, really, really look in that mirror, and I'm not talking about the marred one in your bathroom. I'm talking about that word. When it's time to look at you compared to who you should be, which is him, you don't want to do that. You don't got time for.
Oh,
You don't have the
oh,
time
You
for
know
those
oh.
what?
put aside.
I heard a relationship especially say that that a relationship is a reflective mirror of all the things that might be making you mad about your partner. That's just a
What you're
mirror of
not
who
dealing with
you
in
are.
yourself. Oh yeah. And you
Within
know
your
what? I saw a post someone saying that, and and a lot of times it's not even just the qualities that you yourself possess. It's things that you're not choosing to deal with, or things that you're choosing to deal with that you shouldn't be.
yeah,
Like if
Hmm.
someone isn't being supportive, but you're still with them, that means you're condoning their lack of support. You're not creating an environment of change for you, for them, or for anything around you. So if you want support, then you need to put supportive people around you. And then when someone else enters that circle, they're going to see all the support from the people around you that you're getting. And they're going to notice that if they don't match that same motif, there's no place for them there.
Mhm.
And then you will stop attracting
yeah,
unsupportive people because they will already
Mhm.
see that they
yeah.
don't fit. They don't fit.
Yeah, they can't. They
So
can't
so
hide.
exactly. And that's what it is when people stop dealing with their own
Exactly.
stuff and they want to project or say, "Oh, well, this person did this or this person is the reason for that." No, 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 no. You are the reason for that cuz they're around you because you allow them around you. You go around them. They're
No,
there because you allow them to
yeah,
be there, regardless of
Yeah.
what they bring in or what they're not bringing. That's something that you're allowing around you. And so
Yeah.
when you start allowing more and more of
that's
one
it.
thing around you, other things are going to feel like it fits there. It's
Yeah, I know
simple.
somebody that never take accountability. Every problem that happened to them is always something else or somebody else. I'm like, so you didn't have nothing to do with none of this. No.
Yeah, it's that's a lack of maturity, man. It's
It
just
is. And growth. Oh, and
it's
it's
a
time. Oh yeah, to open up those phone lines. So call in with
Please
your
do.
truth. Cause I'm telling you, this is a hot time. You see, I've been fired up.
I
Fired
see
up.
you fired up. You got everything. You got it. You got all your notes out, Doc.
I
right.
told
You
you, I'm
can't
huh, I'm
all them bullets in the
ready.
chamber like that, man. Come on, now.
Adam
Ready. It
Adam
said
Adam said
prepared. Okay.
It's the straight up
What
gun range, huh?
what did
Man,
Eve say? She said, if you don't eat of that fruit, you're not going to eat of this fruit.
boy, you a fool.
Okay, we got a comment
Man,
here. It says, not
hey,
knowing what you want deals with what singleness is all about. It's interesting that King Dwayne Anthony tagged me on this when my Facebook memories had me talking about being single from 4 years ago. But that's true. That's true. You have to know what you want while you're single in order
Mhm.
to bring that into a relationship. Because I love that 50-50 thing, because there's no such thing as 50-50. You are a
it
whole
sure ain't.
person. You are
Right.
a whole person. So
Right.
you
Yeah.
should be a whole person with a whole
Right.
Yes.
situation,
Yes.
entering with another person with a whole
Right.
situation. So it should be a
Right.
100 100.
Right.
Right.
Yo,
Right.
can we gonna keep we're
Yeah.
gonna keep it 100. That's the thing. A lot of people they don't I don't know, a lot of people I've dated a lot of women that say, "Oh, I want a man that's gonna tell the truth and keep it 100." Then when you
You
start keeping
can't
it
handle
100,
the
they can't
truth.
handle it. Like you can't handle the truth.
Yes. The
I
whole
don't know
time I've
about
been meaning
that.
to realize it, but go ahead.
Cause I was wondering, I was like, why is she her mouth moving, but I can't hear
Because I
nothing.
didn't realize it. And I was, you know what? Me and you went into the same comment at the same exact time. So I thought that
Oh
I'm just like, go ahead, love her. Go
no,
ahead,
cause
love
usually it pop up with the little the crossed
her.
out mic,
Thingy.
so you could, yeah, so you could see if someone was
Yeah.
Right.
muted, but yeah, it didn't do that.
And
I
he
guess we
say,
all I guess we all having problems, technical problems today. But hey,
don't do this.
did y'all get to the part where I was gonna talk about I wanted y'all to talk about uh coming out of a bad
Oh
relationship
no,
or a
not
bad
yet.
breakup?
No.
Okay, everybody,
What you say?
let's go around the table. I want to go around the table. Like really the question is, okay, if you ever been in a bad breakup or relationship, how did you know when it was time for you to go back out and date again? That's what I want to know.
Mm. Who's going
Okay,
first?
well, I'll start then.
Okay.
I actually, let's see, that was like 2018, the early part, when I broke up with my ex. And it was for something completely unrelated to cheating. Even though he was cheating on me the entire time, I didn't find that out until after. But I broke up with him for, it was enough other reasons that it didn't have to be the cheating. But that definitely put a flag, like, no, don't even go back to that. That's just
So it was a
close that
mixture of
door.
things why you broke up with him.
Yes, and a lot of them had to do with me and how I felt in the relationship, regardless of what I was allowing to occur, because that's essentially what it was. Everything that happened, I allowed it to happen because I stayed. So when it got to a point to where I felt like there was no growth there for me, I actually felt like I was degrading. So I wasn't feeling elevated. I wasn't feeling supported or pushed in the way that I was going, because I had went from temp, like a part-time temp, so I barely had a job, to a full-time, R&D chemist at the same place within in 3 years. Like, I got promoted pretty much every year I was there. So I was working. I was working my butt off. And I had big goals, big visions. I was planning on going back to school for my master's. I had a lot of stuff on my plate as it was. I didn't really need the problems that I was dealing with him to add to it, because like science is difficult. And by the time you get to master's level, like chemistry, it's like you learning, energetic interactions between stuff that you can't even see and barely detect, and you have to theorize actual equations. Like, it
Right.
was it was very, very taxing on my mind, like, as it was. And then, like, to deal with emotional stress and strength, it wasn't. Mm-mm. So after that, the amount of freedom that I felt in being single again was intoxicating. Like, that was, I would say that was the very most descriptive word of what that was, because it was like, I don't know, it was like being locked in a cage, and
It
then
was a very
finally.
toxic. It was a toxic relationship.
Oh yeah, it was. It absolutely was. And I was a party to it. I was there. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not putting all of this on him. I was there. So I was like I said, I was feeding into it, and I was condoning all of his actions and allowing it to occur, making excuses for him and all of that stuff. So yeah, no, I was a part of that. And once I removed myself from that, I began to look at myself, very closely and very deeply, and was like, why is it that these are the types of relationships that I can count on one hand how many actual relationships I've been in, like three. And all of them ended not so great. Like the one, maybe we parted and we were still cool, but for the most part it didn't end well. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, what am I doing? What is it about the men that I'm choosing that's creating these outcomes for me? And then also my mindset wasn't on marriage. Like, for the longest, I didn't want to get married because I saw how terrible of a marriage my parents had. Like, it was bad the entire time, and I was like a baby. So when they separated, I was like 4 or 5. But I was happy when they separated. That, and I was 4. I was like 5 years old, and I was happy that they were no longer in the same house together. That's how bad it was, and I had to witness that. That was my witness of marriage. So I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's that. No, oh no, I'm not doing that. And then I proceeded to do that outside of a marriage. So I was like, no. So I finally, it finally clicked. Like, okay, none of this is making sense. So I thought of what I wanted for myself, and then I thought of where I was at that time. Would I be able to receive what I wanted as the person that I was? And I was like, no. So it took me about 2 or 3 years of like a whole bunch more bad decisions, and bad interactions with a host of people, friendships, situationships, like all kind of mess. And then I got pregnant with my daughter, and that's when it finally settled in. Was like, you got to get yourself together. You have a person that's going to be watching you, like how you
Yeah.
watched your parents ruin marriage.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't want to be that example for her. Like, I didn't want to be the bitter baby mama, the bitter, overly independent single mom. Like, you don't need no man, you don't need
With the
no,
bass
no.
in the voice.
All of
Right.
that. Like, I don't need no.
Right.
Like, there is absolutely a man for me that is exactly who I'm looking for. But I have to be that person first. And
Teaching, sis.
once I'm that, he'll find me. I don't have to look for anybody, because everybody is already looking for me. I just need to be who I need to be able to receive the person I'm looking for, to be a sanctuary for the man that I'm looking for. Like, that was the mindset that I adopted, and I was eventually able to find peace in, because I was able to grow in that mindset, and I was able to heal myself, and I didn't need closure from my ex. He eventually reached out to contact me again, and he completely did not address nothing from anything before, and I was just like, yeah, he didn't change nothing. Like, I'm not gonna get an apology. I'm not gonna get so, but I wasn't looking for it because I had already given myself that closure, and I think that's a lot of times that's what people hold on to. They're looking for the apology, or the closure. And I shared a post. I don't know if I shared it in Rock Single, but I did share it in Rock True Queens, and it said, a lot of times you're looking for an apology from someone who was never sorry. So, so that's the thing, and
Yeah.
you have to give
Yeah.
yourself that closure, that healing, that forgiveness.
Okay, all right. King Dwayne.
Uh,
Okay.
I know for me, I kind of knew that I was ready to get back into anything. Um, it's funny, like my guy on here, and then it was another one of my close friends. When I went through my divorce, I was really, really defeated. You know what I'm saying? Like, felt really defeated. I felt demoted. You know, I felt like a failure. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like uh, being married was my solace for not having my parents raise me. Uh, you know, here it is. I overcame all these things, all the good that people always said they saw in me. Here it is. I get to start my own thing. Or my own family, all that, and it failed. And I had to look at myself and understand that there was a lot of things that the absence of a father, uh, it led me to where I was. So the absence of my mother
Mm.
led me to where I was. So um, for me, knowing that I kind of was ready to go back out there after all of that is after I was able to finally really look at myself and say, you know what, regardless of anything they did, at the end of the day, my choices. Um, Regardless of what I went through, regardless of the jumping off the ship, whatever, for the reasons they jumped ship. Um, I made choices that were broken because I was broken. It just is what it is. And I might have thought that at the end of the day, man, my was never there. My dad was never there. They didn't raise me. Okay, look at me. I'm standing tall. I'm starting my own family. I'm here. I didn't die at 18. I made it to 21. All this different stuff. I kept defying these odds. Got out the foster home. All these different things that I defied. And that was that one thing. It was just like, man, like now here we go, and to go through what I went through, but at the same time, neither one of my parents never married to this day. I've experienced something neither one of them experienced. But I really saw that incompleteness in myself after the divorce. So when it came down to it, and I really looked at myself and reevaluated myself, I'm like, dude, you know what? All the pride's got to be laid to the side. You got to get a tutor.
Mm.
Mary knows I like to say that a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that the tutor thing isn't just with math in school. It's just isn't with
Uh,
science or biology at school. In
Come on
life, you
now.
have to read. By the time you become a man or woman, you're going to have to take, as they always say, take the meat from the bones.
yeah,
Mom and dad did the best they could because they're supposed to get you out the house because the scriptures say for this reason,
yeah.
man leaves his mother and father. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? That's,
right,
that's one reason to do that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So once you leave and you start using your wings, well, you got to take all that you were taught, that foundation, but you got to start learning. As my brother Will was saying in his post a second ago, now you got to start filling around because you got to learn who you are. You got to have your own testimonies
Yeah,
Come
as an
on.
adult. So you need your time to become your first administrator, pay your bills, take care of, find out who you are, start building yourself if you're an entrepreneur, whatever the case may be. You have to start building yourself because even the thing about relationships, and I heard somebody say this, the thing about relationships that make them tricky is the fact that when you've been through them, now you have damage.
yeah,
So I like the way, even with a woman, oh, I'm a born again virgin, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you're gonna bring some damage. So
yeah,
the thing about it is, once you've been out there and you've experienced relationship and you've taken some damage, Doc just spoke about some of the things she went through. Those are damaging things. The things I
yeah,
went through, damaging things. Tide, damaging things. So now, you know what I'm saying, you have to. It's kind of like you started out a brand new Chevy, you tallied some miles, you got a few dings, you in a few accidents. Now you got to start working on that thing because you got to customize yourself now. Because
yeah,
you can never
yeah,
be a virgin again. You can never be brand new again. But you are going to be a better thing because you took the time to customize yourself. So
yeah,
that's when I started to realize that, okay, you might be ready because you might be at least getting there because you're starting to look at you. You're
yeah,
not running from accountability. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah.
standing. That's why my channel is called Scrutinize This, because I start with me. I will
Teach.
tear me apart. So I'm definitely gonna give it to
Hello,
you. You know
hello.
what I'm saying?
Come on. That's
Right.
what it's
You
No,
know
about.
I'm
That's
no,
what
getting
it's
to you.
no,
about.
no,
I
no,
started with
no
me.
woman,
So,
no, no
yeah.
woman, no friend, no nothing is gonna
I-
get off the hook because I
come on.
scrutinize me
Come
more than
on in.
anything. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on.
So that's when I knew I was ready. That's when I started to understand that, okay, you getting there, you good. So it's a work in progress, and I don't think, I think a lot of times when we're in church and stuff like that, people like, oh, that's the devil to say therapy. Look, you not gonna say that at the emergency room is the devil.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So you
Even though they trying to
And
kill
I,
you.
who can sit
you
down,
don't even
you
know
know
what
what
they're
I'm saying?
doing.
Utilize
Even
those
though
professionals,
Try to kill you,
who can sit down and talk with you.
they shooting all kind
Utilize
of
them.
stuff in
You
your
know what I'm saying?
arm.
We all need that. We all need some form of it. You know what I'm saying? So once I started to able to just really look at me, okay, we can make some steps. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Miss Wordsmith.
Yes, but before we do that, I just made your comments in the comment section. I'm gonna read off. So from
Most definitely.
Will McCraven says, "See, this is why it is important in singleness to understand your parents. They
Yes.
start your oneness. When a man and a woman creates a child, they created the true essence of what one flesh is. You are the one flesh. Therefore, you need to understand them because they are your DNA. Things they've done will manifest in your actions. Therefore, if you didn't
Back.
understand them, a breakup may be disastrous for you.
True,
I love
true.
that. We got
Mhm.
facts coming in from Miss Roxanne. Shout out to you, Miss Roxanne. And she had one more. She said, I wish more people want to work on themselves. You're absolutely correct. So that kind of brings me right into mine. Me too. I was also married. Normally before, I guess I didn't, I kind of like went from relationship to relationship, I think. And so it really wasn't a moment in time of reflection. And this is how my marriage became jacked up. So didn't have a time to reflect, didn't have a time to focus on myself and mastering singleness, because again, we're looking at the things that's not taught. These aren't the things that are taught to us. And not only is a breakup disastrous, let me tell you something, the damage that you cause with other people is disastrous, because when you don't understand relationship and you don't understand your rights, roles, and responsibilities, and that when you're not married to somebody, you have none, and you start projecting that off on them, so you start thinking you're the owner of them, and they got to stay away from other women and different stuff like that. Then you got fights going on with women and all this other stuff. Then y'all end up fighting with somebody you ain't even married to, and just all of this. But then you don't realize the damage that you now caused in somebody else's life too. And so they, even though they go on and you in a marriage and you got this relationship still going on, you caused a problem that's rippling down into their things. So it's so big. And so this is all my lessons going into my marriage. I just simply didn't want to be a baby mama. I thought that was a stigma. To be a baby mama, you were to be married. Everybody in the hood was baby mamas. I thought that was the worst thing ever. I understood the value of just marriage and a home and his design just early on, like not really knowing what to call it, but I knew that we were to have some type of structure and order that was to guide us. So for me, it was just how it was taught, get it any way necessary, and at the same time, be an independent Black woman. Like at the same time, you need them, but you don't. At the same time, you need them, but do it for yourself. The weirdest conflicts that are happening. That again, this is all taught. This is breakfast, lunch, dinner. You know what I'm saying? This is breakfast, lunch. So how do I shake these things? So again, to get into this marriage, and I noted to self that the way in which I was trying to wheel things my way became very damaging for this man. And as many times as my stories to my family, to different people that were different people that I would tell what was going on to in the relationship, for them, they would look at my ex-husband like, oh, he's the worst thing ever. But hold on too. I had a lot to do with that, and I had a lot of damage that I caused and reaped upon him that made him act in a particular way. Now, hold on. He does have responsibilities for himself, but I'm going to also take real responsibility as to the manipulative tactics that I was using to again bring about the result to my happiness, right?
You
Okay.
was setting the
So
stage, and all he did was play his role.
that's it, right? And here's the thing: as this dominant, independent woman, our ladies, girl, go sit down. With all of that, look at what I was doing to my brother. Look at what I was doing to this king. Look at
I'm a
what I was doing
survival.
in him. Do you understand? And she can go sit down too. And this is what I'm talking about. Like honestly, it's crazy. It's just craziness they put out here, and women be jumping and going. But yes. So I got in this marriage and damage, and all of that was because I did not know who I was. I didn't master singleness. I didn't know the things that I wanted. Um, and because of that, I ended up divorced. I even tried to slide it in because my pastor was like, we had got married at the Justice of Peace. So my pastor was like, well, if you don't get married under God, it don't count. So we tried to like doing a whole nother marriage under God and fake it, because that's what that really was. Like we were just getting married in the church just to say we invited the Lord, but the truth of the matter is he was never invited into our marriage. We just invited people. You know what I'm saying? Like so it now after the divorce, after I understand my role, my purpose, and the purpose of marriage, the design for it. I believe well, I got divorced in 17, so we are 21. So we're about 4 years down in April. I could say, yeah, I'm ready. I could also say, no, I'm not. There are so many things that I still have to um, master here. And a lot of that, again, and coming from daddy issues. Okay. A lot of issues with people is with identity. You don't know who you are and to whom you belong, and you have an issue with your daddy, whether it's your physical father or it's your heavenly father. You got daddy
Yeah.
issues, and a lot of it is the
Come on and
parents.
teach.
It's a lot of them that's in and in the mouth, not investing into it, like not teaching me properly. Like I had daddy issues. And so even today I battle with my daddy issues. I battle with, projecting things upon other people that I felt as if my father
Mm.
should have been there to me. So it's like once I see that, I'm trying to like really master it, and as a woman, master it through my menstrual cycle. See, that's a whole nother level. So right now I could say,
Nah.
I could
I
say,
be trying to tell people it's like going through puberty
oh my
every month. It's
God,
like being grown and then being
every
forced through
month.
puberty every single month. Anyway,
I
again,
gotta get
like,
it
yeah,
together.
we know you grown. It's cool, but we're just gonna mix
Hello,
this up, throw a little anger in there, and then
good bit.
yeah, slap you upside the head with some
And
confusion. Yeah, it's all right.
I promise
Every
I
month.
try my best lately. I just get real quiet and I don't say anything because there's a whole battle and war going on in here. Just trying to for real hold it together, brother. I ain't trying to put this on you. I really
Mm-hmm.
put on none of the friends. And so again, I learned also just mastering friendship. The art of friendship is imperative. And until you can be your own friend, until you
Mm.
can be a friend. Again, God even said, what greater love is this, that you lay your life on the
Mm-hmm.
line for your friend? So the bottom basis level of any relationship is friendship. And this is where we fail. So God has me learning to be a friend again first, so that I can, once I change over my hat, I'm never not a friend. I'm never not a friend. I can go into wife, but I'm a friend. I can go into mother, but I'm a friend. You know what I'm saying? So when it's time and you fail, I restore you immediately, like I was restored from God immediately without a second thought. It becomes my new nature. So that's my answer to the question.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna try to make this quick. My situation was it was a 5 year relationship that really should only been probably about a month or two. I met this girl back in 2015. I mean, real cool. When I met her and we hung out and talked, I was like, man, this is it. But there was this one little part of the conversation that I didn't really zero in on, like I guess she did. She was like, "Do you want to have kids?" I said, "Yeah, I do. Eventually, I do." Somebody, y'all just got you talking about menstrual problems. Okay, well, this sister, she had some that was passed down to her. Through the women in her family, all of them had this problem with their cyst, or I mean ovaries and things like that. And so I didn't know how bad it was at the time of her life that I met her. And let me see, I met her like in April, and probably in June she had to go have a surgery down there that they was doing. It wasn't a major surgery, but it was something they had to do down there for. And that's when after that it started getting serious. So I really think that the whole relationship was like a setup, because I was like, man, this is like almost everything I want in a woman.
Mm,
But the one problem that we had was, okay, yes, I want kids, but I only been knowing you for 2 months. Okay, I only been knowing you for 2 months. We not getting ready to start having them now. But then it becomes this guilt trip. Well, my clock is ticking, and we need to hurry up and have these kids. So from after them 2 months on down, everything just went down. It just went down, because we have our days where it's up, and then she go have that trip to the doctor, and I already see it in the back of my mind. So, oh, she gotta go to the doctor tomorrow. I already know what that's gonna be. She gonna be sad and crying when she come home, and now everything that happened to her is gonna be my fault. Okay, and we had periods in there. We had periods within the 5 years where it be like a nice long breakup.
Right.
Like one time she had moved. Yeah, she had moved for like a whole year and went to Texas and came back. We got back together. We had talked everything. We thought everything was cool. But then the whole saga of the baby continued. I'm like, man. So long story short is just that. I mean, yeah, I wanted kids, but I'm like, ma'am, I only been knowing you 2 months. You know what I'm saying? 2 months. But that's what it was. It should have been done. That relationship should have been over with
Yeah.
the minute she started trying to hustle me. And here go the crazy, but her mother was in on it too.
Here we
Tried
go.
to hustle me for a baby.
You see, you that the plot thickened from the beginning. They
Yep,
weren't
that's
even
exactly where she got it from. That clock
drama. Yep.
thing, that's
But
not a
her
real
mother was
thing.
the
There's
one that
women in their 50s who
Come
her
have
on,
mother was
sis.
the one that
perfectly
actually
healthy
started it.
pregnancies. If you still got eggs, you can still have babies. Like
That's
once you hit menopause, that's the problem. That's the
listen,
only clock you got to worry about is when menopause come
that's
up on
it.
you. And if you hit menopause before you have kids, you just weren't meant to have children. Go
That's
adopt kids. There's plenty
it.
of kids to adopt that want
Listen,
all the love that you can
She
give.
didn't
If you
want
really
that.
want kids, you can adopt. If you
She
want
didn't
to
want
birth
that.
children, that's a whole different thing.
even
Birthing
women
children.
trying
Yeah.
to wheel your way with the guy to get a child, like you acting like you
Come
got
on.
control. Listen, I don't care how
Hmm.
many times he come. It's
Out
only
here
up to
seed trapping.
God
They trying
to
to
say.
seed trap. Mm-mm.
It's
Yeah,
only up to
tried
God
to
to say
she tried to
yes.
trap me for my
Yeah,
seed.
you
I
can't
was
just
like, I mean,
you cannot just make any baby. Like I want to like debunk that myth because this can help you also with Corona today. Let me help you out. God is the beginning and the end of life. He is the author of it. He is also the finisher of it. Can't not one
Sarah.
person know Sarah. Oh well, yeah, I think he was talking about Sarah
Hmm.
having her baby.
Oh
But
yeah.
Yeah.
can't one person leave this earth or come here without his permission? So stop thinking that you have some type of control over life and death. You really don't. You are being deceived. You are being deceived.
Because there's plenty of married couples that are trying to have kids that can't. They end up
Yeah,
having babies and have like a
that's
lot of miscarriages. Like I
that's it.
like
And
my own. I have family members who have had a lot of miscarriages in between children, and it's not nothing you can do about it. Like there's nothing you can do about it.
No, there's
and
nothing.
that's personally that's personal because I've heard a lot of stories like that. Like my aunt and uncle, man, I forgot how old they were when they started having kids, man. But it might have been right when I was getting ready. Like I probably was like midway through school. I don't know if I was in high school or what, but I know once they had the one, it just like bowling pins. They just
Hmm.
kept happening. You know what I'm saying? And
That's just what it's
I think in
happening.
stories like that, and I think in situations like that, and marriages like that, yes, the Holy Spirit takes over, perform that. That's why I love what Will said about Sarah. Um, but let's clarify something with that
Come
because
on, King.
there's a lot of people that I think that when you talk about stories like what I just said about my aunt, uncle, and different stories that we may know of other people, I think it's a lot about being unselfish.
Hmm.
God, number one, we have to understand that we're living in a world where Steve Harvey just told these women on TV that you can do something a man can never do. You can create children. Um, how
How?
they gonna do that without us? How they gonna do that? How they gonna do that without the Most High? So
What?
we're living in a world where the modern woman is deified, man. She's deified
Yeah.
because what people don't understand, and that's why those holidays come into effect. Because when you do your research, even Earth Day, all that, it's tied to Mother Earth. That
Yeah.
that's that has to be the antichrist
Yeah.
of what
Yeah.
God intended. He
Yeah.
intended man to
Absolutely.
lead. The world wants the woman to lead.
That's it. It's
So
period.
that's why I
Just plain
always say
blank
you
period.
Hmm.
can't just
Yeah.
Right.
you gotta understand what is fighting woman and what's fighting man. You gotta
Teach
understand this.
King.
You
Teach.
can't ignore that, and then you gotta deal with that. So when we're
Yeah.
talking
Hmm.
about marriage and stuff like that, and then you want to that has a lot to do with humility and selflessness
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
these women who think they're
80s
go
and
getters
90s?
are more. unless you're gonna solve the Pythagorean theorem or you're gonna solve time travel, your career, God ain't thinking about your career.
He's not.
He ain't thinking about that paperwork you got to
He
turn in.
probably
He
ain't even
ain't thinking.
told you to go in that direction.
You know what I'm saying? Like your role is to be here for men. We
That's
don't have
it.
a
True.
womb,
What's
so
wrong with
your
that?
role we need you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
You carry out and you move the home, the family.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, these women who are trading that for careers, and then in the back end when they're getting close to menopause or there, oh my God, I want
Yeah.
children now.
Oh,
Bruh,
baby, right.
you put everything first before family.
You did.
So
Come
now
on.
You did.
when the man is choosing younger because he needs a womb, now you look crazy and
Come
you're judging and you're mad and
Hmm.
you're bitter and all this other stuff. Well, why he with a woman 12, 10 years old? Because he needs her womb
Come
and her
on.
youth
He
and
trying to
her
sow
vitality and her
seed.
virginity. You know what I'm
He's
saying? He
sowing
yeah.
needs her
seed.
virginity, all that.
And
So
ain't
He
you
is
nothing
know,
sowing
and
seed.
ain't nothing wrong with that. Because
yeah,
as a woman, we need men who are older than us because of how the mentality works. They're 4 years
yes,
behind us mentally.
Come on.
And
yes,
that ain't nothing to say, but you don't need nobody on your level, sis. You need somebody leading you. If
yeah.
you haven't read anything in the Bible, a woman goes from her father's house to her father's house. From her
It's a
father's
change of
house,
ownership.
it's just a change of ownership.
That's why you don't have a last name. You change
That's
last
why you
names.
don't have a
You don't have
last
a
name.
last name.
Come on, teach, King.
So
You don't have
and
it.
in this time, that's what happened to Eve. In this time, women don't want to be satisfied with, oh
Nope.
my God, they're mad at us, but they're really mad
They
at God.
are. They really mad
Mhm.
at God.
You
They
made us
really
the
Right.
mad
head.
at
How
God.
dare you make the men the
Yeah,
head? We want to be
Come
the
that's
head.
on.
it.
This world
That's who you
forgets we can be
mad
the
at.
head.
But
Anything
but the,
possible.
the the funny part
That's
about
the
it is
problem.
on the front end, it's your decision. You choose who you marry. So how are you upset that you don't want to follow the man that you chose? Like
Facts.
Make
make it make
Again,
That's
sense.
what I'm saying.
again,
That's
and I'm
what
gonna
they don't
tell
know
you,
what they
I'm gonna
want.
tell you,
If you knew you was
y'all
marrying
gonna see.
somebody
Hey,
that you wouldn't want to follow,
Indecisive.
why would you marry
and that's why I tell
him?
you,
Why would you marry
after
them?
this after this podcast, you're gonna see a series of posts from me because I'm probably gonna ruffle some feathers.
Right, you always
And
Wow.
ruffle feathers.
she made me think about everything about it. Cause look,
Oh, I done got cussed out
marriage is
good
a
this week.
choice, Christianity is a choice. You know, God
Yep.
gives us a choice.
He
But
gives
Oh,
us
we
and
a
you
we
know what? And then
God,
you brought up the
you know,
perfect point I wanted to make.
we
Free
make everything
will.
on God.
You
We put
have
yeah.
free
everything
will.
on God.
God doesn't even touch your free will.
No, he
You have a
doesn't. No, he
choice. You
doesn't.
always have a choice.
Always
Even
had
and
Come
if
on.
anybody you bring into your life is trying to manipulate
mhm.
or
Yes.
diminish your choice, you don't
Yeah.
need them around you because that is
Nope.
not godly. God
Nope.
doesn't even
Yep.
do that.
No,
So
he
why would
doesn't.
you want
Yep.
people to do
Right.
that to you? Like, why would you do that? How are
Yeah.
you trying to do that? How are you trying to do something that God don't even do?
That's
God
what
is
I'm saying.
not
They
trying to
treating us
stress.
like
God
Burger
ain't stressing
King.
about
Where are you
nothing.
Yeah.
getting this
Yeah.
Have
from?
it your
Where
Nothing.
are
way.
you getting these? And these are misconcepts. Where are you getting your misconcepts from? And you missing
Mm-hmm.
concept because
Think like a
failed
man. Act like a lady.
you fail to adhere to the precept. And that is the original idea of marriage, the original idea of relationship, the original ideas. You don't go to the original, you go to the recreated ones by man. And the problem with this entire society is man. You
Think
didn't
like a man. Act like a lady.
directly, diabolically opposed to God, and you wonder why, i.e., just like you said, he put order and structure in man as head, and this world says, nope, the woman is head. The woman's at the top. That's how you know it ain't God. It's not God. And we got to get this straight. We have to, because order is what's imperative for us to go forward. This is where when he's saying you ain't got to march on the streets, you ain't got to do nothing extra. All you have to do is turn from this world's way, turn to his way, and get over the myth of the truth of the matter is it wasn't never really no other choice. It
Can we
was
address something
him.
else?
It was him. Go ahead, King. I mean, yeah, King.
Okay, let's address this too. We're going to move it just a little bit because we still talking about are you prepared? But let's get on like a basic level. This is something that I need to address. Like when you are presenting yourself, when you're at home and you picking out your clothes and you say, you know, wait, I want a man to choose me today, and
Mm.
you figure out what you want to wear. Here's a question for the ladies. Ladies, what goes to your mind when you picking out the clothes? Because thing is, I'm about to say this, some women they don't do they these are women that believe in the Bible, but they don't do the modest apparel. They do skank apparel. And my
Skank.
thing is that if you dress like a skank, you might get treated like one.
I don't
Ooh,
I'm not against it. I'm not
if
against
it
dressing
look
like a
like a
skank,
duck, walk like a
but
duck,
you might get
quack like
treated
a
like
duck.
one.
you should expect duck treatment. You should expect skank treatment. Like stop playing the game like, oh, he should be able to control himself. No, honey, no, this ain't that. You should be thinking about the other party. You should be thinking about dressing modestly so you don't attract or put that in front of somebody else to make him, feel a particular way or look at you a particular way. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't flaunt yourself. And even the Bible says, don't even dress yourself. Don't even put on all that stuff. What you need it for? And it's so funny because I was just thinking, I was saying to myself, like, look at all this stuff women put on for a man. You don't even love you enough. You
No,
one.
no, 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 no. They
Eyeliner,
no, they do it for themselves.
lip
No,
gloss,
they can do it for
They do
themselves.
it
They
for
don't
themselves.
say
face
they
balm,
doing it to coke. They doing it to get trapped. All these little Facebook
wigs.
games that y'all playing, and you're showing your butt, you're dropping it low. You fishing, ma'am. You fishing.
Hmm.
Push
You
But
up
trying
then, but
to
then,
bra,
but then they
all the
get upset when they get all this low hanging fruit or the
yeah.
fruit
girdle.
that then fell on the ground under the tree.
No,
Like, well,
no.
what do you think
They
that's
like
going
them
to
hanging
attract?
low. They
What do you
like them hanging
what
low.
do you think that
They
what do you think
like
that's attracting? But
your
then
low.
they get upset with the low level qualities. They're gonna have low level qualities because they're low hanging fruit. You can't expect high level qualities
Oh,
from
oh,
low level fruit.
they
Doc, they like them. They like them hanging low.
teach this.
But that's the
Hold on,
thing.
y'all. Hold on,
That's what I'm saying. Though there are high
y'all.
level that hang low and that have standards.
Yeah, okay,
Hold on,
You
okay.
hold
can't.
on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. We actually have a caller. Caller, are you here?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
hey
Yes, I'm here.
caller.
Oh, hey, caller. Hey, introduce yourself. What's your name? Where you from? And then go ahead, jump right on in the rock tree.
Will McCraven, Anthony tagged me on y'all.
Hey, Will.
That's my boy.
So,
That's my
What's
boy.
up, Will?
tripping over stuff.
It's okay. Be careful, King.
Yeah, I was working on my bike, but then I stopped because he tagged me, but I left it sitting there. But anyway, I don't want to
Don't
just
kill
jump
yourself
in
now.
and just start talking. If there's something you all want me to actually specifically talk about as far as the topics that you're either currently on or as far as the nature of what this specific podcast was titled, I mean, I will.
Sure. Go ahead, Ty. You want to ask one of the questions?
Let me ask you, brother. Are you married?
Did you say me or did you say the other guy?
I I
No,
said,
I'm talking to you, brother Will.
King.
That's interesting because only voice I hear is yours.
Really?
Oh, he
Yeah,
only hear
really.
you.
It's,
He don't hear
especially
us.
when I decided to go back to my
Oh,
other phone to see if somebody was saying something, and I could see on the video that somebody was saying something, but only voice I hear is your voice.
okay. Hold on, real quick.
Or
Hey, you
just
guys
ask him for me. Ask him for me, Queen.
can hear him. So he asked you, are you married?
No, I was married. I'm divorced.
Okay. So do you want me to go to the question in reference to when did he decide to date again? When it was all right to date again?
Yeah.
So when we
You
were
asked me any one of them.
okay, yeah. So we were talking earlier. You've been here the whole time, and so we were talking about, what was a bad relationship that you've come out of, and then you said to yourself, okay, this is the time where I should date again, or I should, court again.
That's an interesting question because in my situation, I was going through a divorce and I was very low key with everything. I actually had more people coming to me about what they should do in their situation as far as marriage. So the whole time I had nothing but women coming to me trying to talk to me. I was actually fighting to get custody of my son. So in me going through that process, like I'm a dad's dad, like they say, girls' dad. I'm a dad's dad for my son. Everything I've ever done, or anything I do is incorporated if I can take him or not. If I can't take him where I'm going, then I'm not going.
Right.
So everywhere I go, some woman saw me with my son. So I'm processing the whole time of from the mentality of I'm not entering into a relationship until the divorce is finalized. Just to say to my son, because everything I'm teaching him how to be a man and everything is want to be capable of saying that when me and your mother divorced, I wasn't actually talking to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I had various women talking to me, and I also work from the premise of being friends first. So if a woman couldn't right out the gate, I'm automatically saying you friend zone automatically. Well, majority of women automatically got upset about it. I explain it, and it's like, okay, well, still, some would try and some wouldn't. So I didn't really try to enter any type of relationship until my divorce was actually final. That whole divorce process took 2 years due to various instances of, well, you all been divorced, you might know how that go. One party may not be cooperative, but yeah, as far as me entering anything, I didn't do that until the divorce process was over. So if you was possibly my friend, I may entertain you because like I said, I work from friends first because simply because if you really pay attention to your relationships that are the best are friends. They're based on friendship or the foundation of it.
Yep.
So when you have a friendship with someone, you are a little more keen and a little more observant to the value of the friendship that you have because it's been built over time.
Yeah.
And most people, when they enter into the whole dating game, it's not you're not thinking about friendship. You're thinking about the end game, which is marriage. Is this person marriage material? So you're putting your best foot forward. So as far
That
as
representative.
the whole thing, exactly, basically like voting for a president. They tell you all this stuff in the beginning, and then when they get in office, you see a whole few other things and stuff start to change and this and that. So no one generally gets anywhere with me unless you get past showing me that you're capable of being a friend. Because as a kid, I saw my grandmother, my mother's mother. She, when my grandfather went down, he ended up going on the roof to fix the roof. And his old age, he might have been about 67 years old, still doing stuff. And just to throw a little tidbit in, like women always say, like I want a man like my grandfather. My grandfather actually went on the roof in his Stacey Adams and slacks on, fixing the roof. But yeah, I watched them take care. I watched my grandmother take care of him. It was no questions asked. She did what she needed to, and she turned around and she told us, like, look, at the end of the day, you need somebody who's willing to take care of you.
Teach.
And if you don't have somebody who's your friend who's going to have your back, they're not going to do that. Matter of fact, I saw it in my own marriage because I understood that when my ex-wife had surgery on her arm because she tore her rotator cuff and she had nerve damage in that arm. I had to do everything. I literally, people would look at me like I'm crazy. Like, yeah, I literally had to. She was incapacitated so bad because the other arm was kind of jacked up too that I had to actually change her spirit pad. Like it was, yeah. I really had to do everything for her. She couldn't do nothing for herself.
Wow,
I had to actually go to the shower, taking all that stuff. I had to do it all. It was so bad to the one point that I had to actually wipe her tail when she had to use the bathroom. But that, for me to expect that back, I had to also get in my mind, like, okay, if something happened to me, I can't expect that because in her family, I didn't see none of that.
Right.
None of her family wanted to take care of each other.
Right.
So if you don't establish that friendship really deep, in which in my marriage, I didn't go long enough to actually see enough stuff to say, okay, this ain't gonna work in the long term. Mm-hmm. I saw enough to know that, okay, if I move her away, she's good, but it wasn't enough for me to evaluate to say, okay, what's my next move? And she's constantly around her family, and it starts to get destructive. So as far as friendship goes, it is of the highest importance that you develop that. Everyone likes to say, "Okay, I want my partner as my best friend," but are you actually developing that in the early stages?
Yeah.
Come on,
Early
let's
stages,
come
it's
on,
the
right,
foundation.
right.
Teach. Teach. Yes.
If
I
you don't
think
have
so.
that foundation, you can't have what you see people have 40, 50 years.
Nope.
You're gonna have the, oh, okay, we went through the aches and pains and we barely made it and we got to this point. And then everybody else is looking at you like, oh, this is relationship goals. They ain't tell you like, oh, okay, yeah, he stepped out, she stepped out, blah blah blah, or she did this and she broke
Right.
my
And
window.
whole times there's a whole lot of resentment under that too.
You know what, brother, you make
You
an
know,
You gotta
interesting
watch
point.
that.
Yep. And I've
that,
I've,
that,
I've,
You
I've
know,
Hmm.
you know, that friendship.
yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
Oh, it's actually interesting. Now here are y'all.
Yeah, I did some switching around and stuff while you were talking, and then I got you back. So it was an audio issue on the Gmail end. That's all right.
let me
We
say
good.
this, brother. Let me say this, brother. Let me say this, brother. You make a really interesting point because you said that the ladies was trying to hurry up and jump into a relationship, and you was slowing. You was like, no, we want to take it slow, and then they got upset. See, thing is, when a man, when we meet women, they got see when we come to the woman, they got these stipulations. No, you can't come over the house, you can't do this, you can't do that, and that's how it's supposed to be. But when a man got the stipulations, there's something wrong with us.
Right. Ain't that crazy?
But you
But
can't walk
it
away
just
from
makes
that.
a quicker weed out
Actually,
process.
somebody said something right before I called her. She said she blamed the man, and I know Anthony knows me as far as how I feel about everything in general. Is I start with the man first. I don't
Yep.
care what the heck she
Yep.
does. I
You have
started
to.
there with her first. As a matter of fact, he saw a post I made
You have
recently
to.
in comparison to say that everybody needs to really sit down their kids as well as themselves and really dig into the Lion King because the Lion King, the movie, actually shows you what's wrong with our generation.
Okay. I like that.
Come
And
on,
the
Facts.
fact of the matter is, say it again,
No, we were just agreeing. Go ahead.
the fact of the matter is that men are either going to be like Mufasa or they're going to be like Scar.
Come on and
You're going to
teach.
either have an
Yep.
alpha male who's going to do everything correctly. If you remember Mufasa, he
Hmm.
turns he turns around and says he respect all. He told his son to respect all the animals. They
absolutely,
Yes.
do their part.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
as a true alpha male, you're gonna respect even your woman and what she does. You're gonna respect the other men as far as what they
Yes.
do.
Yes.
But when you need to establish your dominance, then that is when you establish your dominance. But the flip side is you have men out here who you can call Scar either a simp or a beta male
Hmm.
who specific purpose is designed to lower and minimize the alpha male who is technically the true
Teach.
leader. His whole
Teaching.
purpose was to minimize the alpha male.
Ain't that something?
So when you see a man like that, he turns around, he assumes position and power. So that's why I say women are really not to blame
No.
because when you start looking at the lioness that was in that movie, and they do it for real too, they adhere to the position that Scar had.
Yes.
So once
Hmm.
Scar assumed that
Yes, they did.
position, he then starts to infiltrate his whole scheme, his whole plan, setting up a judicial system
Teaching.
that then turns around and brings their enemies, the hyenas, in with them to turn around and make sure he has everything in line to keep his position. And he's turning around, even though he thought that Simba was dead, which was the next to be in line to assume leadership.
Right.
He's purposely killing leadership in the child. So
Mm.
Simba throughout the whole movie doesn't believe in himself. He's taking all this stuff that's been planted in his brain, which is the same thing we see for real.
Teaching.
We see our women who have been infiltrated by a man. It is not the doing of the woman. A woman goes follow no matter what because, like I said,
Hmm.
they were following Scar.
Hmm.
Even at the end, Sarabi was like she didn't agree with it, but she still was
That's
following
it.
just for
And
the sake of the
hello,
position.
that you supposed to. Yeah.
So when we see it here, like, oh, okay, well, she got Section 8, and well, he can't come there. That woman ain't doing it because because she want to do it. She's doing it because somebody in the position, as far as the government, because that's exactly what Scar set up. He set up his own government system
Hello,
to
are we
adhere
really
to what
talking?
he's doing
Now
to
we're really
minimize
talking.
and limit the power of the true man.
Now we're really talking. Now we're really talking
So,
because
so,
all you're talking about is the fall.
so
All you're talking about is the fall, King. The
pretty much.
When Eve ate of the apple, nothing happened. Let's be very clear. Oh, not apple. I'm sorry. That's a misconception. When she ate of the fruit, nothing happened. It was
Nothing at
when
all.
Adam did it because Adam was given the law. That's when we all fail. It wasn't her. And yeah, I
Right.
totally agree with you. Yes, it does
So,
start with the man, and
I
also
got
so,
women
questions
so
on that
now,
fruit though.
responsibility.
so now you get the aspect of where
Mhm.
the beta male comes from.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
beta male comes from the serpent.
Yes, it
The
does.
serpent
Yes,
set
he
up his
does.
whole system
Whole
to
system,
turn around and infiltrate the
the
woman,
whole
Mm-hmm.
use the
culture.
same plan,
To
and
degrade it.
minimize
Teach,
the
come on,
peace
brother.
of Adam and
Yep.
Come
To
on,
almost
brother.
degrade the
Teach,
a
home.
docile.
To
teach.
degrade the kingdom.
Right.
Just like
A
that.
That's what
whole
he
To
new,
did.
erode it. To
whole new political
erode the
system,
foundation.
a whole new found all of this stuff, and this is the same thing that's happening to us today. He has rolled
Today.
Mm-hmm.
up an entire new system that goes exactly opposite. We are opposite of what was to be in place. Not Simba, Mufasa and Scar. Scar is opposite, directly, diabolically opposed.
Even the dark. You could see he was like, everything the light touches, that's our
That's
kingdom.
our
We
kingdom.
don't go
Yep.
where
Yep.
the light he said we don't even go there. He's
Yeah.
not worried about trying to bring that
What
part of
about
the
the
kingdom into
shadowy?
his. No, he's not worried about expanding nothing.
Nope.
He's happy with what he got. He's living in the light and he's chilling
Teach,
where he at.
teach
We just
the
don't go there. They can be
Come on.
there where they're at. They're fine where they are. We don't have to take
And
nobody
you
over or force nobody into doing nothing. We just know we don't go there. And if they come here, they gotta answer to me.
That's
Cause
it.
you saw when them hyenas
and
got
you
caught,
saw
Yeah.
Mufasa was on them. They was like, "Oh no!"
We didn't know
Yeah,
that
they heard
shoes
that
and you
was
roar.
saw
He
real.
the
came
response
when
was
when
over.
he went to go
Yeah.
save Simba. They was like,
You
"Oh,
saw
get
the
your car,
response was over. All darkness came in.
Listen, it was not now Deaf's culture. They were now participating in Deaf's culture when Sky took over everything. Everything was dark, shadowy,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
of death.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we have in today. Look around. Everything is dark, shadowy, and of death.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Like, so you're right. The Lion King is a direct, like, hello, just analyze the Lion King if you don't do anything else in life. I mean, from relationship to just again,
Drink
how
water.
it happened in the beginning. Like, this is you, hey King, you own. You own. Let's see, who is this? I'm off chasing a baby. Back to
Who chasing that baby?
Will. He said
He right. Oh,
he's
well,
back.
mine came and found me.
Well, thank you so much, Will. Is there anything else you wanted to say before you leave? Like, thank you so much for like tuning in and calling in. Thank you. You play so much. You
I
I
play.
mean,
just
And
can't
this is the
wait
book
to be
cover because I
king.
remember the book. I had the book. This is the book.
That's the real book.
Oh, she done went and
You
got
could
it.
even see the
whatever you
binding on
ask
the
me,
side. That's exactly what it looked like. Just the book.
whatever you ask me is whatever I say.
Okay, King. I was just pretty much asking you if you had any final remarks, and that's it. Like, I mean, you're dope. You said everything that's
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No,
yes.
no. Well, I will say, if you're trying to find me, just ask your counterpart and ask me.
I sure will.
You know where to find me.
Watch me find you, Mr. Will McCraven. Watch me find you. Don't play. You seem like you got a lot to talk about. You seem like you got a lot
You
you
get
want to
you
say.
get you get a
I
night
think
you
I
get a
know
sneak
Will.
peek. You get a sneak peek into my circle. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, I see. Your circle is mighty fine kingsmen. I see. I love that. I love that. I'm always looking for the
Got
kings. Where are the kings?
Exactly. Yeah. The key is introspection. People don't want to look inside for the answers. They always looking for somewhere else for the answers. When
Yeah,
you
yeah,
sit and you
yeah.
get quiet and you quiet yourself, you can
yeah.
finally hear God, because
Yeah.
guess what? God not gonna scream at you and
No,
be,
he not.
oh, you gotta do no. Because you gonna listen or you're not gonna listen. That's why we have free will. You're either gonna listen or you're not going to listen. You have to
That's it.
choose to listen. When you choose to listen, you are silent
That's it.
all the way through. Silent in your mind,
All the
silent
way.
in your spirit, silent. You are silent. And that is when you will hear what you're supposed to hear. Like you said, them
Right.
downloads come when you finally get out of the way trying to control and move on. No,
Yep.
no, no. You got to get silent.
Yeah. 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 I totally agree. Well, Mr. Will, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm not sure if you're still here or not. I think you are. Yes,
Yeah, I'm still
yes.
here. No, it's all good.
Thank you so much, brother. Next week,
Same time next week.
What on a Wednesday?
it's always on a Wednesday, King. Next week,
So, all right,
I'll see you
all
next week,
right.
King. Maybe we can see you next week, King.
Right.
That
Yeah,
Hey,
that
we
would be dope.
always hot
Hey, that
topic on
would be
this
dope.
one.
ain't it?
Yeah, yeah, that would be dope right there. Yes,
That
sir.
would be dope if we could see you on here, King. So I'm gonna be looking to send you a link and stuff. And yeah, King, come rock single with us. You got a lot to say.
All right.
All right, King. Have a blessed evening, please.
I still will.
You too.
All
Y'all
right.
be
All
good.
right, take
Yes, sir.
care.
All right, have a good one.
He is dope. He dope. So
Man, I
yeah,
think I know. I
woo.
think
Yeah,
I know
that was
Will.
a real good allegory. That's what those are, allegories,
That
when
was
it's a
that
story
perfect.
that, yeah,
That was perfect.
that is a very good connection that he made.
Yes, it
And
was. He made a huge
I
connection.
might have to go and rewatch it with that mindset, because
I love
yeah, you know the story, but when you watch it with a different mindset, you get a whole,
yeah,
different set of,
yeah.
information from it. So
Picking up
yeah,
on
definitely.
different stuff, and you like it's everything he's saying. Like it's the truth, and like he was talking about with Simba when he went off, and he's not no longer mentally a part of what's going on in the kingdom. He's living this Hakuna Matata type life, and that's what we have our teenagers out here like everything I was taught. Hakuna Matata, YOLO, and that's a lie. It's a lie. You do not only live once.
Yeah.
Like you can die. And
Mm.
like don't let nobody like this is it. But yeah, I love that. I love the analogies there.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
kind of interesting, man, because I've often pondered on Scar's character a bit,
Mm,
because Scar represented a rogue lion. He was rogue, you know what I'm
mm,
saying? He
Because he
so
didn't want to fall
because
in
he moved
line.
yep,
right, he moved
If
in and
you're
out.
Yeah,
So
if you're in
there
this
was
kingdom, you're
some
under Mufasa.
there was actually some potential to him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like how even like we look at a person that's book smart and a person that's actually lived the streets. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So it's like, they both have their pluses. So Scar kind of represented, he knew how the kingdom ran, but he
yeah,
also, he also was a thug with it too. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
he kind of had the best of both worlds. So that potential, man, dude could, I mean, the greatness was there to do
yeah,
greater.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
It was
saying?
his
He
disregard for
was
everybody
rogue.
else in the kingdom, though,
yeah.
because
Yeah,
they ended up
One at
starving
the
yeah.
because
beginning,
he
one
So
didn't
and that was the
hold up
down
his
yeah,
because
responsibilities. He was
yeah.
like, there was
he
responsibilities
he
with the position that he wanted,
Yes,
and he
it
wasn't
was.
yeah
prepared to
Nope.
maintain
he
those
he
responsibilities.
he manipulated he manipulated a lot of things,
Yep.
and he tapped into the baser aspect. And that's what happens when you're baiter, when you tap into the baser aspect. There's
Yeah.
always things in the world that's trying to program you. It's speaking to your baser aspect. That's what happened in
Yeah.
the garden. The
Yeah.
serpent
Teach.
spake to the baser aspect of Eve. You know what I'm saying? The ratchet aspect of Eve, the selfish aspect of Eve.
Yeah.
That's what this world is tugging for. That because the Bible says the lust of the eye, the lust of the flesh, the
Yep.
pride of life.
Yep.
Those
Comes with
things are
instructions.
always fed when you talk about what you see, what you hear, what
Yep.
what I'm saying is moving and shaking around you. And
Yep.
so,
This
it's
world.
kind of unfortunate because in a real pride, not a kingdom, because or not, I should say, not a jungle, because
Right.
lions move in a pride. A lot of people been saying that forever. Oh, king of the jungle. No, maybe that's an
Right.
ape or a gorilla for the jungle, but the lion, they are in pride. So
Yeah.
because Scar didn't really have a pride, he's kind of went as he was a rogue lion. And if you kind of relate that to now,
Mm-hmm.
that's how it would be of a stepfather walking to a relationship when you got all these babies from baby daddies and all this other stuff. He can't, the lion would kill the cubs
Yep.
because I got to start my own thing.
Yep.
So a
For
Scar would
real.
kill all the
They
cubs. That's
really,
why
and they force
that,
they
that
force the
that's
males
why
out. If they
Yep.
don't
that
kill
was
them
the whole
in
that
fighting, they'll force
yeah,
them out.
and that
Hmm.
Yep.
and that was the whole issue. See, that was the whole issue that people it went over their head of why he had to get rid of Simba. Not just
Yeah.
because Simba would have inherited it, but also you ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to
He's
be
a
with
male.
mom.
Prides only
You
have
ain't
one
you ain't even
Look,
mine.
one male. That's why
You're
it's
not
called
even
an
my child.
alpha
You know what I'm
male,
saying?
because there's only
Yeah,
one
you're not
male
my
in
child.
charge.
So I
All the
gotta
other
get rid of
ones
you.
are
I,
subordinate to the head
Yeah,
male. And if they don't want to be subordinate, they either fight
yeah.
for the position or they move on.
that's
Like,
it.
Yeah. So we can't stepfather can't walk into the situation just killing off stepkids or the woman father. So
Right.
they gotta, you know what I'm saying? You got a whole lot of foolishness that goes on because
Yeah.
you trying to figure out, man, do I want to mess with this woman? She got kids, blah, blah, blah. It's so many dynamics you gotta look at because
Mhm.
we gotta start letting these not only men know XYZ, but let these women know, just like a criminal. There are things that you can do having these kids, losing your virginity, sleeping all around, it can be not just on you to move on, and it
Yeah.
should,
Yeah.
because a man needs your womb, your vitality, your virginity. He needs all that. You know what I'm saying? You're a prize that way. But
Yeah.
when you have had all these notches, then you got all this damage and all this extra stuff, and you're not as useful. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah. Let's be real.
He said
you have put
notches.
outside what you
You
really
said that.
supposed
You
to
from
be
the
doing.
eyebrows?
and I'm glad you brought that point up because it's in the notes. but
Okay.
but that made me think of, because when you were talking about how people try and compare marriage to corporations and things like that, and it's like there's
50-50.
there's
That's
a
what it
vast
is.
differences between those two. But even in that similar mindset, like, what is your net worth? Like, money
Come
and things aside, what is your net worth? So yeah, you have baby daddy, whatever, damage, all but what about your pluses? So are you working on yourself? Are you working on this damage? Are you actually teaching your kids to respect authority, respect those, regardless of who this man is? He's an
Yeah.
adult. He is an authoritative figure. So there shouldn't be a problem. If you have a problem, it should be brought up in a situation, or in a place where we can sit down and we can talk about what your issue is, and then we can communicate. It shouldn't just be all they not listening to me,
And
and no, that shouldn't even be a problem. What is your net worth? How are you rectifying and repositioning yourself? Because that's what repenting is. It's not just saying, "Oh, I'm sorry for." No,
Yes.
how are you going and rectifying what you did wrong?
Back in
You have
position.
to go back. You have to go back and you have to dig up. Well, what did I do? Okay, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. And
change your
then
mind.
I'm going to go for it.
Change
And then I'm also going to add
Realize,
this to myself. What are you adding to yourself? Yes, you
re-
have made decisions that subtracted from you, but what are you adding to yourself going forward?
and
I was
that's
in a position where I was more valuable than the man I was messing with. And I knew this, and I still did it anyway. I was making more money unemployed than he was making working two jobs, and I still had his child.
mm,
That diminished me. That had nothing to do with him. That
mm,
diminished my value.
mm, my Lord.
And
Ooh,
I still add to myself. I can still
breathe.
walk up to any man that I feel I desire or I deserve, and I don't feel like he would look at anything I have as a burden, because I don't carry it as a burden.
Right. Right.
I make sure that it adds to
Yeah,
me.
you have to know what you're bringing, and you have to know what your children are offering as well, because
Yep.
your child has to be an asset to that man's program.
That's it.
Exactly.
Listen,
That's
I,
it.
I've been an officer. Will, who just got off the phone, he's been an officer. We were in there with juveniles. We heard many stories, and a lot of those kids were liabilities to
Mm,
stepfathers.
yep.
It just is what it is. A
Yep.
lot of them were liabilities in and out of court, trying to figure this out, trying to figure that out. Relationships broke up, all kind of
Yep.
stuff, because those children were liabilities, because there was a bogus spirit taken on and inherited, because, oh, I married you and I probably can't even discipline your child. But
Yep.
I'm
That's
taking
the big
on
problem.
baggage. I'm taking on baggage like I'm Delta Airlines, and now I'm stressed out.
Yep.
You know
Hmm.
what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right.
that type of thing has to be really, when you're a man coming to the situation. See, the woman has to start understanding in this day and time, you want to do careers and all that stuff. We ain't knocking you. Handle it.
Right.
But you're not going to be able to get the same stuff. We're looking at you with all that energy and that fervor, get a career, and then we look up, you're 35 and you talking about a baby. Nah, it's probably not going to happen. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, we've watched you give all your energy and say, You tell us personally, I'm gonna put this on the back burner for career.
Yeah.
I'm gonna after I get this, baby, after I achieve this, after I do this. And there's a lot of women that get into marriage, hold their men hostages that way. He
Yeah.
wants children. He knows he married you for your womb and your youth.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah.
going to attain degrees until you attain all this stuff. You're not getting no kids from me. Ain't
That ain't
nothing
the
coming. You
world.
know what? Matter of fact, I
Right.
don't even know if I want to do it no more because my body. I need to keep this figure.
Hmm.
That's it.
Right.
Right. But
Because
that's because
They want to try to
they're
you
keep
not
get
the.
putting
married
their
for to have
energy where
children.
it belongs. Because
Because
my
yeah.
body is probably better after carrying a child. Like it's
Yeah.
because
Yes.
that's what I put into myself. Like I said, I
Yeah.
didn't let anything I went through subtract from me, and that comes from work. You can't be lazy with yourself. If you're lazy with yourself, you're gonna be lazy
Right.
with everybody else. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Period.
If you
Period.
aren't putting that energy into yourself to build yourself, to grow yourself, you're not gonna do that for anyone else.
Yep.
No.
And
No.
that is how your bad decisions become liabilities. That is how they drag on your net worth, because you are allowing them to do that, because you're not handling it the way that you need
Yeah.
to make
And
sure
just
it
as
adds to you. If it's not going to add to your life, it's definitely not going to add to somebody else's.
Yep. Yep. And those are the things that a man
as
has to
women,
look at.
I seen go ahead. I'm sorry. I seen a picture that they had up one time, and it was like women have to, like, they were on the track. They had it like posted on Facebook, and they were all on the track lined up, and it was like three women on the side, and then the other three was the men, and it was showing like all the stuff that
Yeah, we talked about
that
that.
women got to go through in order to compete. And it's like, first of all, y'all not even on the same track. That's number one. Like the
Right.
two races are different.
Yeah.
Number two, all the things that you're supposed to have completed before you start another project, silly. What are
Come
you
on.
talking about? You have duties in the home. You have duties as a wife. You have duties in child rearing. It is a responsibility raising a child. Like, seriously, you are first teacher. You are the nurturer. You are the one that helps with the training, because training up a child is the man's job. And you are also part of child in that home. And he is manager. Let's go. Take it back. God is owner. He is
Especially a
manager.
man child.
You are supervisor, especially a man child. You are supervisor. And so
Yep.
those same orders, you need to be able to assure that they are carried out. You're an executive, in the company. So you want to make sure that these are all carried out, not only by yourself as the representer, but also by his children or your children, by
Hmm.
somebody else. They still are to, like you said, adhere to this kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Adhere to this father. And a lot of the issues with children is that, and men coming into the relationships with these children, is that they cannot parent them. That you
Fact.
want them to do everything for these children, buy them the J's, and go pick them up from
Hmm.
school, and all. Oh my
And
God,
that
do
has a
this for
lot
them.
to do with how she interacts with that man that's
Yeah.
coming into that
And
situation.
that
Because
house
if
is
she
up.
deferred to him, it wouldn't be a problem. But
Yeah,
I
that's
guarantee
that's
you, if
that's
he's
instant.
having a problem disciplining her kids, she's not deferring to him in the first place.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And
He has
That's
no authority even over her. So why would her kids feel
no,
like he would have authority over them? Like that
instant
no,
doesn't
and
make any sense. That's like
freedom.
that's
Show his
like
money.
waiting on
Like,
your manager to fire you, and your CEO just pop up and was like, manager, you're fired.
right. Yeah,
listen,
it's
listen.
instant, it's instant chaos. Instant chaos out the gate.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and
Absolutely.
that's what the man has to look at, because the second you have a child with her, oh, you're gonna be able to discipline your child and all that stuff. So the house is split, and now
yeah,
your children, your blood, sees that
yeah,
you give them full force. And
yeah.
but
And
why
all
don't
you
you
was
do that
gonna
with
do.
my stepbrother? Why don't you do that with my
Hmm.
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? So now the kids got resentment with each other. The house just
Yeah.
messed up. It just
Look at
messed up.
everything. Look at
You know?
everything.
Right.
Look at everything. How it just falls
So
apart.
yep.
Hmm.
Falls.
Man, this
Yeah.
this was a good conversation.
Well,
But well, we coming up almost on 2 hours.
So I'm telling the time
it
flew,
goes.
Oh,
We was
flew,
at
this
30
one
flew.
went
minutes,
nice.
and it felt like we had just started.
I
Right,
know that's
right.
exactly how it
Oh,
Coming
felt.
up on two of them.
this
Let's
was
go
good
Yeah.
stuff.
around the room. We're gonna go around the room real quick and do a final last word. Let's start with Doc.
Okay, well, I'll start with the note that we kind of didn't really touch back on, but one of you brought up how a woman was saying that men don't want to date without sex being on the table, and so it made me like think like, huh, like that don't even make any sense, because it's like that's the men that you're choosing to date. Like, obviously, if you're not trying to have sex, but they are, why would you be trying to date them? Like, even if they're taking you out, because there are plenty of men who want to just take you out because they want to get to know you. They're going to pay for everything because they're a man. There's no man I have ever been out on a
Right.
date with that was ever okay with me paying for anything, regardless of what they were expecting after that date. So
Yeah.
that's one thing. And then also, dating is the biggest pyramid scheme ever made. Like, at the
Too.
bottom of the pyramid, it's all the everything, all the leftovers, the bottom
They
of the barrel. Like, it's gonna be a
they
whole lot of that because it's
they
easy to not
It
be worth anything. It's very easy to not be worth anything.
is. Mhm.
So
facts.
it's gonna be a whole lot of that at the bottom of the pyramid. So if you're trying to get to the top, the tippy top of the pyramid, which is marriage,
Gotta have intent.
that's one person out of
Mhm.
the 7 point something billion at throughout
Mhm.
this pyramid. You're trying to find one person. You know how difficult that is. Like, it's like, people who get married and stay married, they are anomalies, and it's not even like based on, I don't know, like anything. It's literally statistics. Like, it's an anomaly based on statistics of numbers. Like, one out of 7.5 billion. That's like that's like statistically impossible to find someone that you're going to spend the rest of your life with.
At least that's what
It's
they saying.
statistically impossible. If you're not dating your entire life, you could very well never end up finding the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and
I
it's
mean,
okay.
based on that formula, based on, I mean, go, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's okay, and that's the thing. Like, people are so afraid to be alone, to be with themselves, to not find that one person that they willing to take anything. And it's like, you sitting up here mad that you got something from the bottom of the pyramid when you wasn't even trying to climb the pyramid.
It, that's it. That
It
or
takes
ditch the
work to get off the
ditch
bottom of the pyramid.
like ditch the
Once you
pyramid.
add standards, you moving up, and add some more. They be like, "Oh, your standards too high." No such thing. There's no such thing as having standards too high. Your standards are too high if you don't meet your standards.
Facts.
Just
That's when
have
your standards are too high. If your standards are above your head, you're doing
yeah,
too much.
unrealistic one. You know,
Delusional.
yeah, delusions. Yeah, that's what
Right.
they
Like
are.
like you were saying that they charge these new men coming in more than they charge the baby daddy. And it's like, and
Right.
that's what made me think of the whole net worth thing. It's like, because they trying to chill at the top of the pyramid while they got
We
bottom of the
definitely
pyramid value. No,
Something.
no.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
King Dwayne.
yeah. So to piggyback off Doc, yeah, we number one, we definitely looking. So I think the only way that you overvalue yourself is if you're delusional. You know what I'm saying? Because we all qualify for something. When you went to a school or whatever, you had to qualify to get in that school. You ain't just getting in. You know what I'm saying? You had to go to
Mm-hmm.
a job. You had to qualify. But the only thing that we don't want to qualify for, these women out here, they don't want to qualify for, is a relationship. And you have to qualify. And we, as I heard somebody said, I'm sure Ty will appreciate this, we the pawn shop. It's just that simple. We set the value, we set the rules of engagement. We the ones set the standards. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Facts.
Regardless of how much they don't like it, regardless of how much they trying to, drag other content creators in the mud because they got the boldness to say it. Thank you for speaking up for the brothers. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Because at the end of the day, we are the ones that set the value. We the ones that are looking at you and looking at what you're bringing and saying, man, okay, if that gun, we got to weigh if something's going to be an asset or a liability to us, and that's how you weed out that thing. And the fact of the matter is, for decades, women have outnumbered us. So everything that Doc is talking about the pyramid, yes, you got other women competing for those guys. You know what I'm saying? And the fact
Mm-hmm.
of the matter is,
And honestly,
in
it's not by much. That's still a
yeah,
subjective thing, statistics, because it's
but
based
at the end
on
of the
whatever
day,
you're valuing.
yeah, and at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, it's just like we got to start taking more accountability to what
That's it.
our responsibility is in the
That's it,
situation.
King.
It's just
Yeah.
like a job. We've been using the job analogies all night. If I sit up there and don't fill out no application at all, and but I'm sitting up there talking about God, I believe You're gonna bless me. I don't know what's gonna happen because ain't nothing coming. I'm
Ain't
gonna
nothing
be
coming.
frustrated. I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be delusional over the fact that ain't nobody called me. Well, you didn't fill out no applications.
Not one.
You know what I'm saying? You should have been, knocking out 15, 20 every day or something because you need to be aggressive with this thing. And it's the same thing in relationships. God created us to, what I'm saying, for a purpose. And he's given us free will. Little do we know, we are controlled in that dynamic, whether
Mm-hmm.
we want to accept it or not. And the fact of the matter is, you got so many people out here that they're trying to fight the fact that they're sheep, that they don't understand that they created to be sheep. So
Yeah,
it goes back to the scriptures. You can't serve two masters. You
nope.
will serve one or the other.
That's it.
So involuntarily, you being programmed by media all day,
All day.
downloading into you what relationships should be, and
Mm.
God already told you what it should be.
It ain't
So
loving him.
there's always a conflict. There's always a competition.
Think like a
To
man, act like a lady.
Yeah,
Mine.
well,
Baby again, mine.
you
Why
can't.
would you
Well,
do that?
that again,
Do that. That would make
P7.
you
That,
be
that
For the
that's another
record, I
that's
don't want to
another
think
show.
like a man
That's
because a
another show
man
with
can't
them.
think like me.
No, that's another show. But at the end of the day, we have more accountability. We have a whole lot more accountability in this thing because if it was just all on God, and I get what people be saying about, I'm waiting on God or I want God to be
I
included.
don't know why.
Okay, you want to be included? That's cool. Divine purpose, all that, that's cool. But you're a part of the process because if you weren't, then you
Yep.
could everybody that went through divorce can blame it on God. He chose my mate.
Yep.
My divorce is
Yep.
his
No,
fault
he
too.
didn't.
Everybody, but we're not blaming our divorces on God. People looking at us, well, why did you get divorced? Why did they don't ask God? They asking you. Why you get a divorce?
Right.
What happened? Who cheated? Who did that to the other? Because it's on
Right.
us. So picking the person is on us too. Stop
Yep.
putting all that on God because we
Please
got
stop.
work to go out there and find a mate. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? That woman needs to
Okay.
get prepared, and that man, he when he gonna pursue. When he sees a wife, boom, that's where he going. You know what I'm saying? So let's put things where they supposed to be in a proper place, and make the movements that we deem necessary when we're ready to.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Queen.
Yeah. So again, just piggybacking off Doc Ock and piggybacking off and hey, who is your true north? Who holds you down so you always know where you are? God, the original true
Mm-hmm.
north, the original point of reference. So where that comes from is, when you're getting someone to try to find the original point of reference on your land, right? I think they're called like surveyors, or something like that. They come out and they're
Yeah,
trying
it's a
to find.
survey.
It's a surveyor. Okay, so they're trying to find out, where does your property end? Where does this other property end? This and the other. Because more than likely, what has been set up is a superficial point of reference. And so, what you do is, as the surveyor goes and he finds the original point of reference, and this is who God is. He is our original point of reference for all things. So when you're looking for, hey, what do we need to do with relationship? What does it look like? What's the design? What am I supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? Da, 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 da. All of those things is found in that original point of reference. Anything, even 1 inch, one
It's a whole
millisecond
book
off
of it too. I think it's First
that point.
Corinthians. They
Mhm.
go through all of that. They get in the
Uh, there-
nitty and the gritty.
there's, I mean, it's listen. There's so much on just love, like, and the whole book is about love. Like, how are you missing the point? The whole book is about giving. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to receiving. The book is about somebody else benefiting and you not. The whole book is just clear. It's
Yep.
evident.
Guess what? If everybody's giving, guess what? Everybody receiving.
Everybody
Boom. Win
receives.
win.
And it's also about how obedience, I'm sorry, is greater than sacrifice. So when you're talking about, again, these original point of references, it's there for us to obey. And we need to obey it. If he has a particular order for us to follow, a particular model, a particular formula, you need to follow it. Don't stray from it. Or the moment you do, everything about it, surrounding it, is what I like to call Walt Disney. It is fictitious. It is not real. It is superficial. And everybody, right about now, we have superficial realities, superficial jobs, superficial marriages, superficial families, superficial careers.
Illusion.
I mean, everything is superficial. So get
And
back
then they
to
get shocked when the curtains close. Like, hold on, wait a minute.
right. No, them curtains closed, babe. Show over. Because that look at our Facebook posts. Those ain't nothing but shows. Your relationship ain't that great, and you know it. But you're
Come
gonna put
on.
on a whole show for the world. Again, it's superficial because you have not obeyed or even sought the original point of reference in your own life, let alone for people that are around you. Your true north. Who is your true north? Find that answer out.
All right. All right. Well, hey, let me say this. It's some things
So
that I
hey,
need to address. I don't normally plug my shows, but I'm gonna plug this one. Tomorrow, kick off for
Okay.
the Black History Month tomorrow, 8 p.m.
Woo!
Eastern. Hey, the topic
It's
is what she won't do. God got one that will. Okay.
yeah,
I saw
true.
that. I saw that. I
That's
didn't even come
right
back to
there
read the
for your
comments, but
I,
hey, but you're right. That is exactly the anti-settle. Well, the settle for the anti-settlement. Because I remember your point that you made earlier about settling. That's exactly what you're doing. You're settled, like it's a settlement. Like of course, it makes sense. But yeah, they use it in a negative sense of settling,
Mhm.
meaning undermining your
Mm.
standards and
There
your
you go.
requirements. So
There
we're
you
not
go.
settling like that. We're
Go.
settling. Oh
There
yeah,
you
matter
go.
of fact, it's in the note.
They flip.
Unconditional
Yeah.
compromise.
Yeah.
Unconditional
Yeah.
compromise is
Yeah.
settling.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to add, I'm so sorry because when you operate from another point of reference, you are now usurping your authority over the original. And that's what we have a lot in marriages. We have women trying to usurp their authorities over these men. I'm sorry. I just had to add that. That was a great point, Doc.
Mm, mm,
all right. So yes, tomorrow. I didn't really say too much tonight because tomorrow I can feel it. It's about to be a spew of a volcano is coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sir,
You know,
vocabulary, rhetoric,
yeah,
syntax,
you know
sir.
yours.
It's getting ready to be a spew. So I kind of held that in today because I just seen I'm getting these little I guess some comments is on one of my posts.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna address being feminine tomorrow as well. Why is there a man telling a woman how to be feminine? Number one, a woman asked me. I was shocked why a woman would ask me, but hey, I actually know some ways that a woman can tap into her femininity. I
Or just
actually
a
know.
woman, or be a woman, because using
He
that
must be
word
trying to be yours, doctor. She must be
female,
trying to be yours.
and we
Going
just
over to the going
but
over to the
but
page.
but I mean, the only reason why it could even possibly work a little bit is in contrast. Like you know what not being a woman is because you're not a woman. So you can say if you do
got
this, then you're being a man because I'm a man.
Yeah.
So you
I
right,
want
mean,
to be feminine,
we
don't
right,
do this because
or be a woman.
otherwise it will make you
we know
Because
what we want.
manly.
femininity, what is femininity? And when you're talking about female, you're just really talking about parts. It's
Right.
more to it. Woman is just it's an essence.
Essence. Oh,
He called us woman. He called us womb man. When I
Yeah.
going back to original points of reference, refer to yourself as everything God called you. Stop calling yourself what this world has called you. Use his terminologies, use his wordings. Forget being female. Okay. It's not just about you having a part on your body, it's about being the essence of womb man. That's different.
hmm
That's different.
you
Woo,
are the
woo,
carrier of
woo.
life.
You are
Okay.
carrier of life,
I
environment.
I didn't understand what that meant until I had my daughter. But that is an
Lord, my
unparalleled feeling.
Lord.
That's a feeling that no one in
Come on.
this world can give you, not even yourself. You can't
Yeah,
even do that for yourself. And
yeah.
that is why I would say because they try and pull that the whole why the woman gotta be the nurturer and it's like no, that is why. Because
Yeah.
once that child is in your body, is sharing your life force,
Hello.
that's a whole different relationship. No one else can give you that relationship but your child. Your child will never have that relationship with their father. I don't care what seed or how, I don't care what he does. They will never have that relationship with their father. And if you breastfeed, girl, come on. That
I
like
would go there. I would go there. I was also gonna say though, remember that they've been in the sack. They've been in the sack. It ain't like they ain't been in their daddy sack all this time. So they've been there dwelling. I mean, but I do get the point that you make. They can't breastfeed and different things like that. No, but
all of that that's a
in the sack.
that's only a bond a mother can have with their child. Men like they have the hormonal things and stuff.
Yeah,
Men do create oxytocin, especially when they care for the baby and stuff the same way the mother would. They do get the same amount of attachment, but the relationship is never going to be the same ever, and it
Yeah.
shouldn't be. And that's
And
that's
it
the
should.
point. We need the duality. We need both sides of that. We need the interaction, the variety of interaction, because the world is a variety of interaction. So you have to experience that within a safe space within your home. And hence that is why women are different from men, because we have to create that variety in the safe bubble that we're raising our children in. So if you're trying to be like the man that's helping you raise your child, you are ruining that
Yep.
variety, that dynamic, that
Yep.
safe space for your children to become a multitude. Like they are one, and then they become a multitude. They
And you
go
ain't
out
about
and
to
they
be dead.
multiply.
Just to throw that out there before we end. You're not a mother and a father. Stop that. That sounds
Mm-mm,
crazy. You
mm-mm.
not that. But go ahead, King. I know
Keep
you
going.
got to go. Don't close us out.
All right, I'm gonna close everybody out. Hey, seriously, drinking some water, men and women, because I think that would really help out with all this toxicness. You know what I'm saying? That
It
water is
does.
a cleanser. It's gonna cleanse you real good. And it send you to the toilet both ways. You know, not just
Mm-hmm.
in. Water gonna push the bowels up out of you too.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
so everybody
Yeah.
know drinking some water. Hey, y'all. If y'all want to hear some fires. I mean, y'all want to see this hit this volcano tomorrow. Come on over tomorrow and come in early, cause when I start my show, I kind of just light right in, and then I take a commercial break. So come in early.
All right.
Peace, peace, peace.
Y'all have a good night.
Have a good
Yes.
night, everybody.
All right.